Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the GDP Sports High School Football Broadcast. Tonight's game is brought to you by the following sponsors: Frost, more than a century of serving Texans, and now in the Frost Tower. Central Builders, the Ehrlich family is dedicated to the construction industry with coast-to-coast projects. The law firm of Thomas J. Henry, open 24 hours with legal experts on call. John Lester's Insure One, providing Texans with home and auto protection. By Randolph Brooks Federal Credit Union, a credit union that puts people before profits. By APIA Connected Investors, Shannon DeLon, providing insurance for real estate investors. BCFS, a beacon of hope for families around the world. Remax, by Chris Collins, buying or selling a dream home in the real estate world. GPS of Texas, peace of mind for all drivers with installed tracking devices. Dr. Eric Kuhl, providing that $1 million smile with a future of dental health. By Gridiron Heroes, dedicated to assisting young men suffering from football-related spinal cord injuries. Cherry Hills Baptist Church, where the Lord provides the football field for eternity. By Mecca Sportswear, supplying the leather jacket of pride for your school and sport. Eagle Print, where San Antonians take their printing for quality and satisfaction since 1974. Also brought to you by one name that stands out in the San Antonio rental car business: Budget Car and Truck Rental on Sandow Road, just east of 281 North.
Good evening, everyone, from the broadcast booth at Heroes Stadium. Welcome to our Saturday night.
The most important team member
as
isn't
the
always
Reagan Rattlers and the Madison Mavericks battle fourth upper platform of 27-6A in this Saturday night contest in an effort to stay alive in the postseason playoffs. I'm Chase Hawley, and tonight the Snakes of Lyndon Hamilton are slight favorite to put a saddle on the Madison Mavericks of Coach Blaine Peterson. But in this district, it's like floating down the Mississippi in a leaky boat. You just can't predict the outcome in the storm of competition. What a beautiful night for football on a mid-October Saturday night. From the whipping winds of last night when the Johnson Jaguars outlasted the MacArthur Brahmas to a perfect fall night, and we expect to see an even matchup as the second half of the season is underway. I'm Chase Hawley, and our broadcast crew tonight is Gary DeLon, Rob Hicks, Charles Vickers, Walter Stoops, and Mark Witherall. The Rattlers are led by quarterback Travis Staley, who will not be playing tonight. Instead, it'll be a backup quarterback. And there's plenty of speed in the core of receivers and running backs. They are and hoping to find out that a winning magic of some years ago. Staten Ankrum and Link Milam are good receivers with good hands and sprinter-like speed. Mike Garza, the senior quarterback, and he has Darren Gill to carry the ball, and receivers Caceres and Josh Cooper have great hands on the flanks. We'll hear about this game, and Gary DeLon will have more information when we return.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
Welcome back, everybody, to Heroes Stadium. A magnificent Saturday night after last night's tease of Old Man Winter. These two teams have met many times, and of course, any time they play, no matter who's favored, who has the talent, it's always nip and tuck and down to the wire. As Chase just mentioned in the opening, Travis Staley is going to be held out. Apparently he got some nicks and bruises in last week's ball game, and he won't be participating tonight as Lyndon Hamilton is trying to save the youngster. Remember, he's also a great baseball player, and he had a bad arm coming into the season, or shoulder, so he didn't play at all the first 2 or 3 games. And he got back into the saddle, but apparently he has re-injured that limb. But it's going to be another of those typical 27-6A fight to the finish. Now, if you remember, last year we did the Madison game against Lake Travis up at Unicorn Stadium. It wasn't Unicorn, it was New Braunfels Canyon. And they came back from behind because they had a young man named Higgins at quarterback. Now, his brother is the defensive star tonight. We won't see him on the offense, but Madison has some speed, just like Reagan has with Milam and Ankrum. We also, according to Coach Hamilton, may see Ankrum at a running back position some of the game because he has that great 4 or 5 speed, maybe even faster than that. In the shadow, his father, who played at John Jay many years ago, and he was the fastest kid in the city at that time. So it's going to be a great night for football. We are glad that you're with us. We hope you're along with us anyway. We just have so much fun doing these games. No matter what teams play, we enjoyed the game last night. The MAC Pack, the Brahmas of MacArthur High School, they showed some flashes of brilliance, but they just couldn't stay with that great speed that they had to face in that game against the Johnson Jaguars. So we're going to be back with the coaches' interviews. First off, we talked with the coach from Madison, Blaine Peterson, and then we went over and talked to Lyndon Hamilton. So let's go to these spots, and then we'll be back with the coaches. You're listening to Frost High School Football.
APIA specializes in real estate investor insurance. For years, investors have struggled managing individual insurance policies. So APIA built a program to put investors' properties under one insurance policy. They've been helping investors save time and improve cash flow nationwide since 2001. APIA has the flexibility to meet the unique demands of both investors and financial institutions. Call in the real estate asset protection experts today, www.apiaprotects.com, or call 877-752-2742.
While some banks are slow to approve auto loans, RBFCU is hitting the gas. With one of San Antonio's lowest loan rates and fast online approval, you'll have more time and money to live life your way. Apply today at rbfcu.org. Subject to credit approval, rates and terms subject to change. Other restrictions may apply. Better rates. It's what we do at RBFCU.
Hard work, dedication, commitment. Qualities that are found on a winning football team and qualities that you should look for in a contractor. Central Builders has conducted their businesses by these qualities for 25 years. The dedication has resulted in coast-to-coast clients who aim to build, remodel, and restore their large and small businesses. Many school districts and grocery chains, such as H-E-B, have selected CBI as their first string to implement and improve existing structures as well. Call CBI 210-590-0235.
According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, more than 100 Americans die each day in traffic crashes, and thousands more are injured. If you were injured in a car crash, call Thomas J. Henry. Thomas J. Henry handles serious auto accident cases and gets serious results for injured clients. Start your free claim today at tjhlaw.com/radio. That's tjhlaw.com/radio.
San Antonio, Texas.
Back at Hero Stadium, and tonight we have that very important confrontation on the field below between the Madison Mavericks and the Reagan Rattlers. And already the Rattlers have their famous snake tunnel, as it is posted on the track down at the northwest corner of Hero Stadium. And I just remembered this. What year was that? That was 6 or 7 years ago, wasn't it? And I'll never forget it. It was a windy night, much like last night. And the Reagan Rattlers, the men had already set the stakes and everything to hold it down. Suddenly here came a gust of wind, and that balloon just took off right over, right over the stadium, over in the parking lot. And it reminded me, reminded me so much of a conversation with Jerry Kumlander last night. He had just returned from Albuquerque for the Balloon Festival in the Sandia area of Albuquerque. More than 400 balloons were on display. And he said the winning balloon, Mark, was the replica of the Jesus Christ statue out of Brazil.
That's really nice. I do know there's a couple balloon fests here. This is the season for it. There's a couple of them coming up. In fact, the church that used to have, or the church that's now in the property that was the Verizon Amphitheater, has one every year, and that's coming up sometime at the end of the month. And it's a very interesting show when they have those out there.
Yeah, I know that property was purchased by that church, and that was at one time a great amphitheater. I did make one flight in a balloon in Colorado, and you never know when they're going to land. And I tell you what,
we got up about 200 or 300 feet, and I was pretty nervous on that landing.
You're at the mercy of the wind and
yeah, you are.
And the direction of flight is unable to go any farther than what you can see, because those things are just unpredictable as it can be.
The Reagan Rattlers are the home team tonight. I presume they're wearing their green jersey, which indicates that they are the home team, and then they have their silver helmets and their white trousers, and of course the Mavericks are in their white traveling uniforms with the orange trim, and some of the guys even have on very luminescent shoe wear.
Looks like it's a lot of pink out there tonight.
It is pink. This is pink week in San Antonio for many of the schools, and the battle against cancer, particularly breast cancer for women, and it's a wonderful cause. So we are at Hero Stadium, and we are glad you're along with us. First off, we want to say we are so grateful to Karen Funk, the athletic director of the Northeast Independent School District, and all of her staff. They do such a great job over on Jones Maltzberger, and we thank her for allowing us to be here at Hero Stadium tonight. And we also want to thank Lyndon Hamilton, as well as the coach over at Madison, Blaine Peterson. They are just wonderful young men, and we'll be back to talk to them in just a moment, and we'll have some commentary from Chase Holly as well. And Charles Vickers is stationed on the sideline tonight. He loves being on the sideline, particularly on a night like this. This is Palm Springs weather on a Saturday night in South Texas. You're listening to Frost High School Football.
Every family wants the assurance that their most valuable possessions are protected and secure for the future. That's why you need the most insurance coverage that budgets can afford. Even though his company is headquartered in Texas, John Lester is expanding his company from coast to coast. He has recently added several major insurance companies to better serve his growing clientele. You are protected from hurricane, fire, auto accidents, even a polar bear attack. John Lester once played linebacker for the Bastrop Bears, knows the importance of insurance. Call John Lester's Insure 1-210-541-9771.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
In 1984, high school students were dancing to the song Hey Mickey. That same year, Sherry Armstrong opened Mecca Sportswear to provide those students with quality leather jackets along with all district and all state patches. Well, now, 3 decades later, Sherry and her family are still providing custom leather jackets and award patches to South Texas' greatest student achievers. Call toll-free 844-HEY-MECCA. Hey Mecca, 844-HEY-MECA.
In 2017, more than 4,700 people were killed in crashes involving large trucks in the U.S. Semi-trucks, which weigh 20 to 30 times as much as passenger cars, can cause severe injuries in the event of a wreck. If you were injured in an 18-wheeler accident, call Thomas J. Henry. Thomas J. Henry handles serious trucking cases and gets serious results for injured clients. Start your free claim today at tjhlaw.com/radio. That's tjhlaw.com/radio.
San Antonio, Texas.
On the 20th of September, the Johnson Jaguars defeated the Ronald Reagan Rattlers 31-28 here at Hero Stadium. That was a very close ball game and down to the wire, as these games usually are. So tonight we'll see another nail-biter, I'm sure. We want to say that Lyndon Hamilton is a graduate of Luling High School back in 1994. He played football, baseball for 4 years for the Fighting Eagles. He played football at Texas A&M Kingsville for Coach Ron Harms and Richard Cundiff. Did good in coaching at Rosenberg's Terry High School. Spent 6 years with coaches Tim Teckle and Alan Roberts. 7 years with Neil LaHue at Roosevelt. And the last 4 seasons at Reagan with Dave Wetzel, and succeeded Dave when he went to Baylor. And then, of course, on the other side, we know Blaine Peterson has had such a great history over there. And, boy, has he done a great job during his time with the Madison Mavericks. Don't forget, He was on that staff for Jim Streety, and also for Ron Ritterman when he was there. He's in his fourth year. He played for Jim Streety. He was also a wrestler and a football star defensively. He was a very tough defensive lineman. So I'm Gary DeLon, along with Chase Cooper-Holly, Mark Witherell, Charles Vickers, Walter Stoops, and Rob Hicks. And that's our crew. It has been for the past several years. And Mark and I met first about, 6 or 8 years ago, I guess, Mark?
Yeah, it had to be. We had a mutual friend that set up a little bit of a clinic, and I got the call, hey, if you want to come down and learn a little bit, we got a guy coming in. He's been around the business for a little bit. Name's Gary DeLon. Would you like to come down and learn something? And I jumped at the chance, and my son and I went down there, and we met you. And it was meeting a legend, and actually, the reception we got was just amazing. And for somebody as well known as you are and as experienced as you are to just open up and talk to us like we've been friends for years, it just impressed the heck out of me, and I was hooked ever since.
Well, that was David Phillip that arranged the meeting with us, and David was a good guy. And he had, I think he still does, own a series of small stations in South Texas, and he does carry high school football in many of those stations.
Yeah, he's down there still in that oil fracking region of South Texas, and he's got a few stations, and they carry the little 1A and 2A teams down there in that Karnes County area.
Like the Fall City Beavers?
Yeah, Fall City, perennial 2A powerhouse in the state, and Poth is on the move this year. But you kind of stole me away. I used to work with him. And
now, David got mad at me for that.
I wasn't going to say that, but he did kind of get a little defrosted about that.
Well, let's go down and talk to our first coach interview, and that was Blaine Peterson of Madison, and he's just a delight to talk with. Coach Blaine Peterson, on a magnificent night like this evening, it's a far cry from that game last month against Smithson Valley when the wind was whipping, and it was a miserable night, not only for the players but for the coaches and for the score.
Well, that was definitely a rough night for the Mavericks, for sure. And it was a windy night. I think tonight's going to be beautiful. Going to be in the 60s, and be great football weather, and hopefully we show up and play a great game tonight.
You have some talent from last year that carried over. You had that great speed when you lost in Austin and to Lake Travis. And has that developed to the other guys? Have they caught on that you guys are a playoff team?
Oh, absolutely. These guys know that they have a chance to have a lot of success this year, and every week we're trying to get better. And every year is different. From week to week, you're going to have some ups and downs and have adversity you got to work through. And our guys have had to do that already this season. But they keep working hard. They come to work every week trying to get better, and they've done that. And hopefully over the last 2 weeks, we've continued to improve and have a good showing tonight.
As you look at your career, and you've already been so successful, but who was your mentor who kind of helped carve the way for you?
Well, I've coached with and for some great coaches. First and foremost, Jim Streety was a great man to work for, and I worked with him for 13 years. And what made him great was that he allowed his coaches to coach and directed us in the right direction and gave us a lot of freedom to do things we'd like to do. And so he was a great man to work for. And one guy people may not know is named Don McGee. He was a defense coordinator at Holmes for a long time, was our defense coordinator at Madison. He was a great man to work for, and learned a lot from him on the defensive side of the ball.
And when you serve as an assistant, they're great coaches. Like Kevin Hurst was telling me last night, he spent a lot of years as an assistant from various schools, different districts, and so that really does pour the mold for you guys.
Oh, absolutely. These young coaches, when they get into the profession, they think they know football, but there's a lot to learn, and heck, even I got 25 years and I'm still learning. I'm still trying to get better, and there's things that I can learn from other coaches as well still at this point. So you got to have the right mindset when you get into it. You can't think you know it all, and you got to keep learning. So.
Well, you've done a great job already, and it's just a privilege to see you coach and to see what you do with these young kids. And we hope that we are again doing playoffs involving the moving Mavs?
Well, absolutely. That's our goal. We want to win a district championship, and we want to get in the playoffs and go win games. So that's our goal every year, and hopefully that comes true this year.
Well, we had Main Street of USA. Now we got Blaine can deliver some pain. Good luck tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
You're listening to Frost High School Football.
So Blaine Peterson from the Madison Mavericks leading his team tonight. They're coming in with a 3-2 record, 2-0 in district, trying to remain perfect just as the Johnson Jaguars did last night in 27-6A. On the other side of the field tonight will be Coach Lyndon Hamilton. We had a chance to talk to him this evening as well. So let's go and play that interview.
This stage of the season, we know it's important every game, but golly, just week after week you say, we got to win, because such a tough district, and you guys are so evenly matched in most of the contests that you're in. So is there anything different you're going to do tonight?
I'll tell you what, Coach Peterson, they do a phenomenal job with their kids. They're really explosive in the backfield, and, number 10 does a really good job of getting it out on the perimeter to their skilled kids, and we've got to make sure that we're assignment sound and we're locked in on our keys and reads. But, this is the most important game of the year for sure. A lot of playoff implications on tonight's success, and kids have had 2 weeks to prepare. Coaches have had a really good on both sides of the ball. I've had a really good preparation week along with last week. Hopefully we rested them enough to get their legs back underneath them and have a little break and get them fresh again for the back end of the season. But we're ready to go tonight in 27-6A.
Last week when I saw Ankrum get clear on that long pass, it brought back memories of his dad when he used to blaze him over at John Jay.
Sure. He's got some scoots. We're fortunate to have number 2 with us. We got him for another year or two, so we're looking forward to the future is definitely bright for my man Staten. And tonight, hopefully, our 10th grade kid, Lance, is going to fill in for my man Travis tonight. He can get him the ball and get him out there in space and see what he can do with those legs.
Well, now, is Travis not 100%?
He's a little bit banged up right now, so we'll be holding him out this week. Going to let the Lorenz kid take the bull by the horns in the huddle and go from there.
Have you thought of putting Staten at running back? Is he going to be doing some of that tonight?
He's going to carry the load for us tonight in the air and maybe a little bit on the ground and maybe a little fly sweep action here and there. But as versatile as he is, he can hurt him in the air or on the ground. So we'll see how it all plays out tonight. Coach Damasco and the offensive staff, they've always got something up their sleeve to get our dudes the rock. So we'll see how that works.
There's no doubt a happy Wetzel up in Waco right now.
Oh, Coach Wetzel's doing a fine job up there. I get to talk to him every now and then, and every time we speak, it's just a pleasure to get to chat with him and talk about their successes and our successes. He's always asking about our kids. He's known this Stone Oak family, the community forever, and he's always asking about how our kids are. His youngest boy, Chase, grew up with all these kids, so he still has an extreme vested interest in this program and these kids, so he still keeps an eye on our dudes.
Lyndon, good luck tonight and the rest of the way, buddy.
Appreciate it. Strike 'em.
Coach Lyndon Hamilton, you're listening to Frost High School Football.
Coach Lyndon Hamilton of the Reagan Rattlers coming in tonight. Their team is 2-3 with a 1-1 shot in district. The captains are meeting at the center of the field right now on that big Northeast ISD logo. Captains for the Reagan Rattlers tonight are Carter Campbell, senior wide receiver, Darius Taylor, senior defensive lineman, Marlon Anderson, another senior defensive lineman, and Luke Hoggett, senior running back for the Madison Mavericks, or for the visiting Madison Mavericks. Darian Gill, a senior halfback, Deshaun Hagens, a senior DB, quarterback Michael Garza, and George Johnson. I'll send it down to Charles for the coin toss.
Welcome to the stadium, Lynn. It's a great night for football. Madison, you're the visitors tonight, so you get the honor of the coin toss. I've got a silver dollar here. That's heads, tails. Reagan, that's heads and tails. You're going to say your choice, whether you want heads or tails, loud enough where everybody can hear you. I'll flip the coin, let it hit the carpet. We'll see what it is. Everybody understand? Captain for Madison, what's your choice, heads or tails? He called tails. Everyone step back one step. He called tails. Let's see what it is. It is tails. Captain, you want the ball or you want to defer? Madison has won the toss, elected to defer to the second half. Reagan, you want the football. Which way do you want to kick, Madison? You want to defend that. You want to put your back to the scoreboard. Reagan, spin around, face the opponent. Reagan will receive the ball on the open end of the field.
So once again, the Madison Mavericks have won the coin toss and elected to defer to the second half. They'll be kicking off from south to north against the Reagan Rattlers, who will have the first chance to get on the field tonight on offense with a backup quarterback. And I guess, Chase, he is a backup, but he's played quite a bit this year, and that's going to be Lance Lorenz. He's only a sophomore, but he's shown some flashes when we've seen him earlier.
He definitely has. He's a great player. He has a lot of skill and ability, and he also has a lot of versatility. He knows how to get to the outside. He knows where to throw the ball, and he's not your typical backup quarterback that doesn't know what's going on. He definitely knows what's going on. He's going to be a great fill-in for Travis Staley, and it's unfortunate that he's not going to play tonight, but you might as well get some rest.
Yeah, so not on top of the 27-6A standings right now, as Johnson already last night went to 3-0. Madison looking to do the same thing tonight. We'll come back with the starting lineups and we'll hopefully be ready for the kickoff right after these words. And you're listening to Frist High School Football.
Every San Antonio family has a dream to live in their own castle. There's one San Antonio real estate expert who can fulfill that dream, and he has provided many wonderful kingdoms for hundreds of home buyers in South Texas. Chris Collins of RE/MAX Preferred has been the realtor selected by families that want to make that dream a reality. He'll provide the expertise and confidence to purchase the home that's your address for future happiness. Call Chris at RE/MAX Preferred 210-213-2432.
Coming home means a lot of things to a lot of people. It's a place where you can kick off your shoes or even kick it up a notch. As the #1 mortgage lender in Texas for credit unions, you can trust RBFCU when buying your new home. We'll be there for you every step of the way. So whether it's buying your first home or financing your forever home, you can count on us to make your dream come true. To apply online and for complete details, visit rbfcu.org. Some restrictions may apply. Loan subject to credit approval. RBFCU is an equal housing lender.
You don't have to be a frequent flyer to know the best rent car location in San Antonio. Budget Rent Car is a locally owned company that provides a fleet of new automobiles and a staff of professionals who have served the thousands of travelers who want quick access to the airport, reasonable prices, and available quality vehicles. That's one name that stands out in the San Antonio rental business. Budget Car and Truck Rental on Sandow Road, just east of 281 North. Phone 210-824-0737. Budget Car San Antonio.
Back at Hero Stadium, where the Reagan Rattlers about to take the ball to open up this 27-6A matchup. So let's talk about their starting offense. On the left tackle is Austin Dearman, a sophomore, 6'4", 265. Left guard is Zenon Rudnick, a sophomore, 6'4", 310. Center is Casey Cody, a senior, 5'10", 265. Right guard is Aaron Martin, a junior, 6'4", 290. Michael Perry is the right tackle, a junior, 6 foot, 205. So across the front offensive line, 265, 310, 265, 290, and 205. The skill position players tonight, starting with the ex-receiver, that's Ronald Lake Milam, number 80. He's a senior, 6'3", 190. Great hands and great speed. Tight end is Blake Thompson, a junior, 6'2", 210. The Z receiver we talked about before is Staten Ankrum, junior, 6'2", 190. With the injury to Stelly and the precautionary scratch tonight, Lance Lorenz, the sophomore, number 2, will be starting in quarterback, 5'9", 175. The defense for the Madison Mavericks. Cornerback is Jaden Staggers, 5'11", 170, a junior. Rover back is Richard Jones, senior, 6'2", 185. One of the defensive linemen is defensive tackle Marlon Anderson, senior, 5'11", 205. The nose guard is Dwayne Murray, number 60. He's a senior, 6'1", 255. Price Yates, a junior, 6'4", 240. And they call him a stud linebacker, Sam Newman, 5'10", 185. The other cornerback is going to be Lamarck Patterson, 5'11", 185, a senior. A couple of the other linebackers to round it out, Sean Jones, 6'1", 210, and Roberto Sada, 6'1", 235. Pedro Ryan is the free safety, 6'0", 185. So offense starting for Reagan, defense starting for Madison.
And I just had a nice visit down on the mezzanine with James Leha, the wonderful fighter for San Antonio pugilism. And what a tremendous young man he has been. Well, he's not a young man anymore, but I think he's a granddaddy now. But James and I go back about 40 years. So I guess he wouldn't be a young man anymore. But anyway, he was leaving. He had another appointment. He was downstairs. But I do have David Hinojosa, who is covering a lot of high school football for the Express News. And he'll be our guest at halftime. Baylor won, right? 33-30 in triple overtime or double? Double OT, and it was homecoming day in Waco. I know that one of Chase's favorite coaches, Dave Wetzel, is a very happy man right now. And so is Skyler. Keeps the Bears undefeated.
He definitely does. Skyler is a great young man, and he has a lot of talent. And Coach David Wetzel is definitely one of my favorite coaches of all time. And he's just a bright, glowing person, and he never seems to be in a bad mood, at least when I talk to him. And he's definitely done a great job at Baylor, and he needed that job, and I'm glad he progressed on through his life to see him evolve into this.
He's in charge of kind of recruiting in Texas, and what a magnificent job that is for Coach Rule to have him in that position. So we are at Hero Stadium, and we're just about 4 minutes away or longer? 6 minutes away from kickoff. We had a couple of other scores for you. Alabama, 47. The Texas A&M Aggies of Mark Witherell fame, 28. And, of course, at halftime, it's the University of Alabama at Birmingham, 16. The UTSA Roadrunners, 7.
Number one team in the country, Alabama, had little to worry about against A&M. Clemson's number 2 in the country. They also cruised to a 45-14 victory over Florida State. And then up the road in Dallas today was a big game, the Red River rivalry, Red River Showdown. And, Oklahoma takes Texas to the woodshed 34-27.
And it should have been more than that.
Oklahoma defense showed up today.
Yes, they did.
That's a heck of a job.
Best game they've had all year. And the key play, the turning point in the game, in my uninformed opinion, was the flea flicker that changed the complexion of the game, and it kind of broke the back early of the Longhorns. And Ellinger was a great young quarterback for the Longhorns. His dad played for Coach Jerry Kummerlander. Not many people realize that. And a
big upset in the top 3 today is Georgia at home gets beat by South Carolina 20-17 in 2 overtimes. So the top 5 will shake up a little bit with Georgia going down today.
Between the hedges. And that means they must have had a pretty good grass cutter over there.
Now they had a quarterback today, Jake Fromm, a senior, who they feel is going to be a surefire first-round draft pick that probably didn't have his best game today. Threw some picks.
No, he didn't.
A couple of those picks were bounces off hands of receivers, and I don't think you can necessarily fault the quarterback for that, but they did not play their best game, and South Carolina took advantage of it.
Speaking of quarterbacks, Brewer of Baylor had a fantastic game to lead the Bears to their 6th in a row, I believe. They're 6-0.
Yeah, they'll move up. They're 22 in the country. They'll move up with their 6-0 record, and Texas will fall down, and Texas A&M will probably fall out of the 25.
Yeah, they will. They will fall out. They were, I believe Texas was 11, so they'll probably drop to 15, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Well, A&M has lost all 3 of their games have been to top
Clemson,
10 teams.
Auburn, and now Alabama.
Yeah. And that's kind of where people thought they'd be, at 3-3 this time of the season.
And let's see, LSU is playing tonight.
That's a big game. LSU in the swamp, in Death Valley with Florida coming to town. 2 undefeated teams in the SEC. That's a big game as well. And Florida coming off a big game last week against Auburn. I mean, it's a
and Florida State has just fallen apart.
Yeah, there's a lot of people already calling for the coach's head over there in Florida State. Also, some baseball. We'll keep you updated on the playoff races or the.
And here come the Mavericks.
There you go.
I thought the interviews were very good tonight with the coaches. They were upbeat and amenable and very appreciative of us being here. That's many people are, but they were.
I think they're appreciative of the fact that we can recognize their talent that they have on their teams. We see them enough. We know who their guys are, that we're going to call their names a lot tonight. And, I think they're appreciative of the fact that we know a little bit more about it. As the Reagan Rattlers come through their hissing snake tunnel, running onto the field. And, of course, it'll be followed by the national anthem and the kickoff of this game at 27-6A.
We hope you enjoy our verbal view from high atop Heroes Stadium. It is not my favorite press box because we are jammed in here like two big salmon in a sardine can.
But we do have a Saturday night game so that we can show the field.
Yes. And we can talk about the players on the field and see them in action at the same time. There is, in case you're wondering, there is a UIO rule. You cannot televise any part of the game on a Friday night, unless it is, of course, contracted to be the game of the week or whatever. But on Thursday and Saturday, you can. So we are with our one little mini camera here. We're going to be showing the field, and as we describe the play, you will see it live. And I just want to say, too, happy birthday today to Chris Wallace. 1947 is his birthday. And how about that? Fox News has lost their $7 million man, Shepard Smith, as he quit yesterday. Hallelujah. There are some mannequins in the closet that can do the job. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We will rise now and hear the national anthem.
Please remain standing and remove hats as we pay tribute to this great nation, our men and women in uniform throughout the world, and all our veterans with the playing of our national anthem.
Now, is it the Madison band is not here, or the the Reagan band? Because that sounded more like a high school band than a middle school band to me.
I think the Reagan middle school band.
Both bands are gone for both sides of the team.
That was pumped-in music.
And that was yes, I was about to say that. It wasn't an actual band playing.
It was pumped in. I was going to say that was pretty darn good. So, a rather minimal crowd on a very beautiful Saturday night in this Saturday soiree. And we will have the description by the youngest play-by-play superstar. Chase Cooper Holly will be our play-by-play man tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir, I will be.
He has the verbosity and the vicissitude of a great sportscaster.
I don't know about that, but we'll see about that, Gary DeLon, tonight. I think we saw a little glimpse of it last night as I had a couple very interesting comments.
From whom? Did you have an audience last night?
I don't know.
Do you have a fan club yet?
No, I don't have a fan club yet. I do not have. You know what? We need to work on a fan club, Gary.
I think you're right. We really do. All right, the Reagan Rattlers will receive.
Back deep. Receiving for the Reagan Rattlers will be number 10, Pedro Ryan, and number 5, Lamarck Patterson.
Back deep for the Rattlers, number 33, Luke Hogan.
Kicking the ball for the Mavericks is going to be
number 6, Jacob Bullock.
Number 81, Enrique Ibarra Cortez, to kick it off tonight.
No wind to speak of.
Which is very sad because I was enjoying the cold weather yesterday, Gary. And here's the boot. And it's going to go down to the 11-yard line, take a bounce, and it is actually going to be received. And as Pedro Ryan picks up the ball, he barely gains anything off of that carry.
He gets about 6 yards.
15-yard line, not even 6. He received it at about the 11-yard line and went only to the 15, so 4.
Anthony Cleaver was on the special teams to make the stop.
So now the Reagan Rattlers will take the first bite.
And Lance Lorenz is only a sophomore, 5'9", 175. You talk about a lot of confidence in a 10th grader by Coach Hamilton.
Exactly, and I think Lorenz is going to have to step up in this game against the Madison Mavericks. It's going to be a bunch crunch on the left with a man in motion going toward the right. Here's the snap by Lorenz as he hands it off to Conwell.
Jonathan is a 5'10", 175 junior.
We will probably be seeing the freshman running back running the ball tonight as well as the game goes on.
Chris Pataki makes the stop. We'll go down to Charles Vickers in a moment. Gain of 4.
Single receiver set both sides. 2nd and 6. Here's the handoff as it goes to Conwell once again, and he's going to fight for some extra yardage, and he's going to get a gain of about 4 on the carry, making it 3rd and 8.
Bo Vulture, 5'10", 170-pound safety on the right side, made the stop.
3rd and 2. Correction. So the Reagan Rattlers will have to make this 3rd down conversion to see if they can keep their first drive. Single receiver set both sides. Here's Lorenz as he takes the snap and hands it off to Conwell with nowhere to go as that Madison Mavericks defensive line.
But he got the first down.
He did get the first down. Let's pick up a 3 for Conwell.
Yeah, 3 straight runs by the running back trying to settle this offensive down and use their strength, which is that big offensive line.
10 minutes, 38 seconds left in the first quarter. Trip set left, single receiver isolated on the right. He's going from my left to right. Here's the snap by Lorenz as he throws out to the left. He's got a man, hit is caught, and making that catch was Carter Campbell as he ran a little slant route.
And making the stop after a 14-yard gain was Anthony Zuniga.
So it'll be Carter Campbell going out left with Link Milam isolated on the right. As another receiver comes onto the field, and that is number 29, Zane Rabba. So it'll be double wide out set left. Here's Lorenz taking the snap, and he hands it off to Conwell. Conwell breaking through the middle for a gain of about 7 yards.
Yeah, nothing fancy here by the offense so far except get behind that big offensive line, hand it to Conwell, and right up the middle every time so far, and it's working so far.
Miguel Becker and Deshaun Higgins make the stop.
So that'll make it 2nd and 3. Link Milam going out left, isolated by himself. As it's a long snap count, and here's Lorenz taking the snap as he hands off to Conwell. Or no, that's number
Green.
14. There's the freshman running back that I was talking about. That's Carson Green.
No relation to any of the Green family from Madison of years ago. That was Aaron and Gary and Andrew and Tony.
So that was a pickup of 2.
Going to be 3rd and less than a yard here.
Link Milam isolated on the left by himself, and it's going to be a QB keep and sneak, and he's got the first down. And a little bit more.
I tell you what, the guy that made that possible was the right guard on the right, Michael Perry, 205. And you also had Aaron Martin helping, a 290-pound center.
So Link Milam be isolated on the left with Ankrum on the right.
The 46.
Carter Campbell. Here's Lorenz taking the snap as it's a little reverse to Carter Campbell, and he's going to pick up a gain of 4 yards on the carry. The Madison Mavericks doing a great job of trying to not let the Reagan Rattlers get to the outside. And Hayden Solkarsi was on the stop.
And Jordan Johnson helped out.
So it'll be 2nd and 6. Double wideout set right, single receiver on the left. Moving from my left to right. 8 minutes left in the first quarter. Here's the snap by Lorenz as he hands it off to Carson Green, and Carson Green's going to bang up the middle, and he's going to keep his feet and keep moving.
Oh, it looks like a London scrum, and he may have it.
He might have gotten the first down, or they're going to call it a little bit short of the marker. They're going to get the
Casey
first down.
Cody and Zenon Rudrick. They made it possible. 310-pound guard, old man Roderick. All he has to do is breathe.
Pick up a 7 for Carson Green.
I believe they have 3 first downs now. 4 first downs.
Reagan Rattlers having a successful drive in the first drive of the game.
Going toward Wurzbach Parkway.
Link Milam on the left with Carter Campbell on the right. Here's Lorenz as he takes the snap and he hands it off to a new running back, and that's Cho with the first carry for this game for him. And the Madison Mavericks were saying that it was a fumble, but it was caused by the ground.
They've got some, I think that they're going to be alternating all this talent because they've got so much versatile speed. That was a 4-yard gain.
So it'll be double wideout set right with a single receiver on the left, 2nd and 6. 7 minutes left in the first quarter as they move into dangerous territory. Here's Lorenz dropping back to pass, looking to his right. He sees a man, and it's Link Milam, and it is caught just at the 19-yard line, giving him a first down and more.
And he's right in front of Demetrion Delane. Let's go down to Charles.
So the ball will be placed at the 19-yard line with Carter Campbell on the right, Link Milam isolated on the left.
Little technical problems going downstairs.
Lorenz doing a great job as the backup quarterback. Here's the fake handoff, and he's going to pitch it to the left, and that's Cho. And Cho's going to fight for more yardage, and he's got the first down and more, bringing it down to the 6-yard line. Pick up a 13 for Cho.
And just like we saw last night with one of the Johnson drives, this Reagan offense is just taking the air out of the ball, just muscling up on them, and just marching down the field so far.
Oh, he exploded with more force than the kick of an angry mule on that play, or a kick of an angry Maverick even.
As Carter Campbell goes out wide right, Link Milam on the left.
1st and goal.
Here's Lorenz taking the snap as he hands it off to Carson Green, and Carson Green is going to pick up a gain of 2 on the carry, making headway and seeing the end zone in sight. And Deshaun Hagans was on that stop, as he is one of the former players' brothers for the Madison Mavericks, Dante Hagans, who had a great season last year.
Boy, did he ever.
Did he ever. Link Milam on the right now with Carter Campbell on the left. Here's Lorenz as he takes the snap and he hands it off, and he's going to get pressured, and that's Carson Green getting brought down at the 11-yard line for a loss of 6 on the carry.
Yeah, that's Grady Elijah out there, or excuse me, Elijah Grady, linebacker junior, came out and cleaned up on that call, and what went from a 2nd and goal is now 3rd and goal from outside the 10.
You might say that was biblical.
15th play coming up
on
Rattlers.
7 minutes already on this drive.
As they are.
And no penalties on this drive.
So it'll be Cho in motion going out left. Here's Lorenz passing to Carson Green on the right, and he's going to make a juke, and he's going to get into the end zone. Beautiful moves. He made a left move, and he made a right move and went straight into the end zone.
Oh, man. That was very impressive.
Very impressive.
The drive was just sensational.
For the freshman running back, who's taken upon great weight on his shoulders for the Reagan Rattlers.
Yes, since Travis Staley will not be playing tonight. I don't know how long he's going to be out.
So that'll make it 6-0 with the Reagan Rattlers in the lead now on the first successful drive of the game. 4 minutes, 46 seconds left in the first quarter as we await the PAT attempt. Carter Campbell holding, and the boot is up high, far, and good, making it 7-0. 4 minutes, 46 seconds left in the first quarter. You're listening to Frost High School football.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
Back at Hero Stadium, where the Reagan Rattlers have struck first. Get that? Strike. They struck first, and the score is now 7-0 with 4:46 left in the first quarter. 15 plays, 85 yards, 7:07 off the clock. An 11-yard swing pass from Lance Lorenz to Carson Green was the score. Reagan 7, Madison 0.
Good choice of words, Mark.
7 first downs as the fangs are full of venom right now as the Big Green comes out in execution style. That was a perfect drive.
Yeah, I don't think the Madison Mavericks kind of know what hit him. There's Charles. There's Charles.
Hey, can you hear me now? I can hear you now. I don't know what the issue was. I reset the microphone.
Oop, lost you again.
I just reset it.
All right, so looking quickly after the kickoff, as Chase will describe it.
Madison Mavericks back deep, as I cannot visualize their numbers as they are turned a certain way, but it will be number 1, and that's Nevon Cooper. And number 6, and we'll get that name to you just a moment. Here's the boot as it goes down to the 28-yard line, and he's going to make an attempt to run it, and he's to the 35, and he's going to be brought down by 3 Reagan Rattlers in the bunch at the 38-yard line.
Good return.
Good field position, setting up the Madison Mavericks for a possibly
Mike Garza
successful
beat quarterback.
drive.
You have Caceres, Darian Gill, Josh Cooper. Nevon Cooper is a tight end. R.J. Kyle, wide out left side.
As Josh Cooper is out wide left. Here's the double wide out set to left. Here's the snap, and he's going to roll to his left and throw a low ball.
Mike Garza, the experienced senior, just bounced it off the artificial turf. Looked like a ground to the shortstop. Across the forward wall, you got Martinez, Bowers, Harris, Herrera, and Jackson. 250, 320, 265, and 320, and 220. So that's an elephantine back lineup, isn't it?
That is. 2nd and 10, double wide out set right, single set left. Here's Garza as he puts a man in motion. Nevon Cooper in motion, and he's going to QB keep, and he's going to run it, and he's to the 35, and he is cracked behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Back to the line of scrimmage and losing 2 more. So that's not what they wanted. And it's just a great pursuit, great read on the outside. And there's a loss of 1. And the guy that made the hit was Richard Jones, linebacker.
Well, the Reagan Rattlers have predicted that they're dangerous on the outside, and they know their outside is dangerous when they get there.
4 to go in the quarter.
Trip set right, single receiver on the left. Here's Garza. As he takes the snap, he's going to drop back to pass. He's looking to his right. He's being pressured, and he's going to roll to his right. He's still keeping his feet, and he passes, and it is caught. And there's a first down and more for the young man, and that's Royal Kyle.
Good pickup there as
Royal Kyle is also a backup quarterback, by the way.
Yeah, Garza scrambled, bought some time, and saw Kyle sitting there in the just kind of settled into the slot right at the first down marker, wide open. Good pickup for the first down.
18 yards in the far side of the field, going from our right or the south end zone toward the north, and they're in their white-clad traveling uniforms.
Double wide out set left, single set right. Here's Garza as he fake handoffs and he dives for a gain of about 3 yards on the carry, making it 2nd and 7.
Making the stop in the defensive unit was Matthew Scannell.
So the Madison Mavs are looking good on their first drive of the game as they keep on trekking down the field. Double wide out set right, single set left. Here's Garza taking the snap, dropping back to pass. Now he's rolling to his right. He just throws a little flare pass, and it is going to be another first down for the Madison Mavs, and it was complete to Caceres. 5'10", 170. He's only a sophomore.
Is it a hurry-up offense, Charles? It's keeping the D kind of... Oh, Charles is out again. Okay, we got a missing microphone. 2:37 to play, gain of 10.
Lightning fast first quarter so far.
Trip set left, single set right. Here's Garza as he puts a man in motion, going from the right to left, and it's going to be a reversed handoff, and he's going to look for yardage, and he picks up about 4 on the carry, and that's R.J. Kyle once again. He is showing some great ability tonight.
These are two well-oiled machines.
Well-oiled defensive and offensive machines.
4-3 defense.
Trip set left. Here's Garza as he takes a snap. He's going to QB keep once again, and he's going to try to get to the outside, and he has a little bit of outside room, and he is brought down, but he gains the first down and a little bit more.
Gain of 6. Boy, that was well executed because he was almost nailed in the backfield.
Yeah, once he made it clear, though, he tight-roped the sideline there and got past the chains.
Jake Bullock was chasing him.
Yeah, pretty good run there by Garza. Oh, right at the chains. 3rd and less than a yard.
So it'll be double wide out set both sides. Gill on Garza's right. Now switching to the left. Here's Garza as he takes the snap, and he's going to fake handoff to Gill, and he's going to go through the middle for a first down and more.
Oh, he splashes into that ocean of defense, and just a great run there by Gill.
Yeah, just a straight zone read, and what
well, that was Garza, though.
What Garza's seeing is the defensive end crashing down, and he's pulling it out and running himself. And
what 2 impressive drives we've had. Almost the entire first quarter.
Into the red zone.
1st and 10. Here's Garza as he hands it off to Gill this time, with Gill having nowhere to go. Lost 1 on the carry as the Reagan Rattler defensive line is just filling in those gaps and probably having a spy on Gill as well.
Yep.
10th play coming up for the Madison Mavs. So it'll be 2nd and 10.
Price Yates was on that last play, 6'4", 240.
Minute left in the first quarter. Double wide out set both sides. Here's Garza as Gill moves to his left now. Garza taking the snap. Now he's going towards his left as he tries to get that outside. And the Reagan Rattlers have it shut down.
Grabbing the helmet, but the referee didn't get it. And making the stop in the secondary as he had to come up from his left halfback defensive position was Richard Jones again.
So now that'll make it 3rd and 11 for the Madison Mavs.
Time on the clock, 28 seconds. This may be the last play of the first quarter. It's been a quick moving stanza.
Trip set right, single receiver, isolated on the left. Here's Garza as he takes the snap, and he's going to look, and he's going to pass it into the end zone. He's wide open. Great play call. That's R.J. Kyle on the reception. There was no one there on him.
That was missed assignment on that play. It had to be.
Beautiful pass.
There was no one within 5 yards of the receiver. And Kyle could have gone another mile with a big smile.
A big smile, Gary DeLon? I think so. 8 seconds left in the first quarter as Madison puts in a score before the quarter ends. And it'll be Barra for the PAT attempt. And here's the kick, and it is up high, far, and good, making it 7-7. Now it's a tie game with 8 seconds left in the first quarter.
Enrique Ibarra-Cortez ties it up.
You're listening to Frost High School Football.
Dr. Eric Kuhl played high school football, and he knows the importance of keeping your body in good condition to maintain perfect health. He also realizes that a portion of that health is maintaining dental hygiene. In today's society, your teeth are as important as eyes and ears. Gum disease can lead to other physical problems, and Dr. Eric Kuhl can advise, counsel, and demonstrate the best methods of dental maintenance. The office accepts most dental insurance policies, and you'll find a new friend, compassionate doctor as well. Call Dr. Eric Kuhl for an appointment at 210-496-1711 on 281. And don't forget, it's cool to have a great smile.
Welcome back to Hero Stadium as the Madison Mavericks do exactly what they need to do to get back in this game. A 11-play drive going 62 yards, 4:29 off the clock. A 16-yard pass from Michael Garza to a wide-open R.J. Kyle in the end zone, a 7-7 ball game.
You know, I was on this date back in 1990. Pardon me. In 1997, one of my favorite entertainers, John Denver, was killed in an experimental plane in California at the age of 53.
John Denver is greatly missed.
I can't believe it's been that long since that happened.
Went to Texas Tech.
And here's the boot. Back deep, Lamarck and Pedro Ryan. Here's Pedro Ryan fielding it at the 2-yard line, and he's going to try to make a return, and he's got a little bit of room, and he's going to get just up to the 24-yard line.
Quarter.
And that's the end of the quarter. 7-7. Tie game. You're listening to Frost High School Football.
Some people know me by Smitty. Most people call me Mr. Smith. One day I went to Randolph Brooks Federal Credit Union. Ever since that day, I developed a relationship with Randolph Brooks Federal Credit Union that was second to none. I like RBFCU because they create a stress-free environment. It's all about relationships.
Better banking. It's what we do at RBFCU. Join today at rbfcu.org. Membership eligibility required. Rates and terms subject to change.
Back at Hero Stadium, where we're getting ready to start the second quarter, a 7-7 ball game as the Reagan Rattlers take the first series on offense all the way down and score, followed by Madison doing the exact same thing. Some first quarter stats. Reagan 7 first downs to Madison's 4. Rushing yards, Reagan 48, Madison 20. Passing 37 yards for the Reagan Rattlers, 42 for the Madison Mavs. 85 total yards of offense in one series for Reagan, 62 yards in one series for the Mavs. 3 of 3 for both teams on third down. No penalties, no turnovers. Time of possession for the Reagan Rattlers, 7:22 to 4:33 for Madison.
So the Madison Mavericks will be trying to defend the Reagan Rattlers. The Reagan Rattlers in their own 9-yard line. Deep in their own territory. We'll see what the Rattlers can do. Carter Campbell on the left with Link Milam isolated on the right as the game resumes play. Here's Lorenz taking the snap as he hands it off to Carson Green. Carson Green makes a move, and he's still on his feet and still hasn't been brought down. He's finally brought down. The Madison Mavericks thought he had touched the knee to the ground, but he didn't.
Well, finally providing the glue to stick him down on the turf was Miguel Becker.
A gain of 9 there for Green.
So that'll make it 2nd and 1 as the clock is going to be a ticking clock. The Reagan Rattlers trying to burn as much time as they possibly can and try to get another score before halftime. Here's Lorenz taking the snap as he hands it off to Carson Green. Carson Green going towards his left, trying to get the first down. He just didn't get it as the Madison Mavs, about 5 of them in the cluster, brings him down.
Not only was that a cluster, that was an entire Maverick herd and a stampede because there were 5 of them on the green.
There was a lot.
No gain on that play, so it's going to bring up
2nd and about 1.
Well, it should be 3rd down. They need to change that
yeah,
box
they
to
do.
3rd down.
It's 3rd down. Nobody seems to catch it right now.
I think they've got a officials timeout. Maybe we got some clock issues, or They're going to measure something.
Yeah. No, it's a first down.
Yeah. They're going to give him the first down.
I didn't see a measurement.
I didn't either. Maybe it was where the ball was placed.
Well, we got the first down signal anyway, but they haven't moved the chain gang. Now here come the Lynxmen.
1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line as the Reagan Rattlers are in a trips left. Single receiver isolated on the right. Here's Lorenz as he takes the snap and he hands it off. He's going to fake handoff and throw it. And the intended receiver was Carter Campbell, but it was thrown behind him just a little bit, allowing it not to be caught.
That may be the first miscue that young Lorenz has made tonight as a sophomore signal caller.
I was going to say that's the first time they've stopped the clock tonight because of an incomplete pass.
Absolutely.
Everything else has been a run and a running clock the whole night.
Good observation, Mark. Very good.
2nd and 10. Link Milam on the left. Carter Campbell isolated on the right.
It's a 3-4 defense.
Here's Lorenz as he hands it off to Carson Green, and he's going to gain of about 9 on the carry as he goes straight up the middle with that big offensive line making headway for him.
Miguel Becker, as he stutter stepped just as he got to the line of scrimmage and made a great juke outside, and that's what gave him the 9 yards.
So it'll be 3rd and inches for the Rattlers as Carter Campbell goes out wide right. Link Milam wide left. 10 minutes, 15 seconds left in the second quarter. Here's Lorenz as he takes the snap, and he's going to hand it off to Carson Green once again, and he has the first down.
And about a yard more than he needed, maybe 2.
They're going to give him 2.
And nothing fancy again by Reagan. If it works, keep doing it with that big offensive line push and handed it to Carson Green. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, they're Isaiah Edwards makes that last stop, along with Demontrion Delane.
I still have yet to see Staten Ankrum step onto the field. Double wideout set left, single set right. Here's Lorenz taking the snap as he's going to fake handoff.
Good read. That was a great defensive mystery solved right there. And the guy that did it was Max St. Pierre.
Yeah,
He's
not a good read by Lorenz, but a great read by St. Pierre, taking the quarterback all the way on that, put him down for a loss of 2.
He really read that perfectly.
So that's going to make it 2nd and 11.
And we don't have him listed even in the top 22.
Double wide out set left with a single receiver on the right. Here's Lorenz throwing out to Link Milam, and it is caught. And he's going to twist and turn.
Oh, yeah. He spun and turned around.
But the ball is going to be marked at the 35-yard line for a gain of 6 for Link Milam.
Penn Valen makes the stop. And guess who was also in on the play? Demontrion Delane.
Close to DeLon.
3rd and 6. 3rd and 6.
3 of 3 for third down conversions. Here's Lorenz looking to his left as he's being pressured by the Madison Mavs. Almost got him, and he's going to throw it, and it's going to be caught. Or no, they're going to say it's not caught. Intended receiver was Carter Campbell. So that'll make it punt time.
So it wasn't caught, it went for naught.
Yeah, Chase, I don't know. I don't see number 2 out there. I don't see Ankrum.
No, well, maybe they're holding him out too. It's
maybe there's.
But he mentioned in the pregame that he was going to play, right?
He did. He said he was going to be doing everything tonight, even some fancy stuff. But as I have seen right now, he is just standing on the sideline. Here's the boot, and it's going to spiral down and roll to the 24-yard line.
Ill-advised reception there.
41-yard kick.
He was smothered and trying to make something out of the play was Nevon Cooper. He had nowhere to go. He had no gain.
8 minutes, 12 seconds left in the second quarter, 7-7. It's a tie game. They could go anywhere as Madison Mavericks have another turn at taking a scoring drive. This is the second time Madison Mavericks have had the ball. So it'll be a double wide out set left with a single receiver isolated on the right, all by himself, being man covered. Here's a man in motion as he goes behind Garza, and it is a handoff to Gill. And he's going to pick up about 2 yards on the carry, maybe 3.
And even though he had a great block, Anthony Herrera, 326-2, he just couldn't open the door. And a short gain.
This will be a gain of 3, making it 2nd and 7. As the Madison Mavericks look over to the sideline.
You know, he is so big, his jersey won't even cover his midsection.
Double wide out set right, single set left. Here's a man in motion. It is snap, and it's just, there is just nothing there. The Reagan Rattlers defensive line just plugging those gaps.
Richard Jones stops Garza in his tracks.
So that'll be a gain of 1 for Garza, making it 3rd and 6.
7:14 to go in the first half.
They have to make the third down conversion here. Double wide out set right, single set left. Here's Garza. As he puts a man in motion, he's looking over to his right, and he throws it out on the flank to Gill, and Gill's going to fight and run for more yards. He gets to the outside, and he's going to be brought out of bounds.
Yeah, but he just pirouetted and gained another 10 yards.
At the 46-yard line.
And finally ridden out by Deshaun Higgins, rather by Patterson Lamarck and Jacob Bullock.
Gain of 17 for the young man, Gill. 6 minutes, 58 seconds left in the second quarter. Fast-moving quarters, Gary.
Lamarck Patterson, not Patterson Lamarck.
Not a lot of miscues on this. I think both these teams are playing clean, and they're doing exactly what their game plan has said.
Excellent execution tonight, there's no doubt.
Trip set left. Here's the handoff to a new running back in the game, and he's going to go to the outside left, and he's going to be brought down for a gain of about 3 on the carry.
Anthony Cleaver. Let's go down to Charles. We still can't. I mean, we're having all kinds of technical difficulties with a very expensive microphone. We got it with green stamps. I might have to call them about that.
Pick up a 3, so it'll be 2nd and 7. Trip set right now with Cleaver on Garza's right. Now moving towards the left in motion. Single receiver out left now. Here's Garza dropping back to pass. He's got a man open, and that's Cooper, but he just overthrows it to Josh Cooper. He had the end zone in his eyes.
Yes.
He had space, and he could have got 6.
And he had beaten Sean Jones.
He had.
I think Garza rushed that a little bit. He did not have any rushers in his face. I think he could have maybe taken a little bit more time.
If he'd set himself a little better, yep, you're right.
So that'll make it 3rd and 7. 4-4 for the Madison Mavericks on 3rd down conversion. Here Garza dropping back to
Screen
pass.
set up.
Oh,
what a great read.
Sniffed out perfectly.
A tremendous read defensively by Sean Jones.
Yeah, Jones has seen that on film or something, because he sniffed that out, and as soon as that ball was caught by the screen running back, he just gets tackled immediately. Yeah. No chance of a pickup there.
Brilliant defensive play. 5:45 to go. This has been a fast-moving first half.
4th and 7, punting from his own 35-yard line.
7-7 score, my friends.
We await the boot. And it's going to be a high punt, not going very far as it bounces, and it's going to roll to the 29-yard line.
And is ruled dead at that point. Only 22 yards on the kick. That's one of the few mistakes they've made tonight.
But I think that we've seen that in the previous game that we watched of the Madison Mavs, where the punt game wasn't as strong. Also kicking up straight into the sky instead of trying to put a little distance or arc on it. So now it'll be the Rattlers' turn in the second quarter. 3rd time for them to have possession of the ball. Here's Lorenz as he takes a snap and he hands it off, and he's got room, and that's Conwell running the ball this time.
That was great.
No, that's Carson Green.
Yeah, and having to come from his safety position to make a stop, maybe saving even a longer gain, was Noah Dudley.
Yeah, Green has a good first step, and I think he's close to breaking it there.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Here's
3-4 defense.
As he hands it off to Carson Green, and he's going to get the first down and more.
And one of the reasons why that was opened for Mr. Green, as he had plenty of beef up front.
10 carries, 37.
And it was Ethan Ruiz who made a great block.
10 carries for 37 yards for Carson Green.
Of course, he's only 6'1", 270.
Lake Milam on the left, Carter Campbell on the right. Here's Lorenz dropping back to pass. No, Ankram's in the game now as he's isolated on the right, and he's just barely overthrown. Ankram had maybe the tips of his fingers on the ball, but just not enough to get it, catch it, and hold on.
It's 4-7 for 44.
Defending in the deep secondary was Deshaun Higgins. Looking at the statistics for young Mr. Lorenz.
So it'll be Lake Milam on the left, Carter Campbell isolated on the right. Here's Lorenz as he hands it off to Carson Green. Carson Green trying to find a hole on the outside right, but he just couldn't. He lost a yard on that play.
4 Mavericks make the stop.
Yeah, Madison Maverick defense definitely has a lot of speed in it, so it's hard to get the edge. So, power right up the middle, that's one thing, but when you start going sideline to sideline, you're playing right into that Maverick defense.
Well, they're so quick, they react so rapidly that you don't have much time. You got to hit it and go.
3 minutes, 55 seconds left in the second quarter. 7-7, tie
Fast-moving
game. Fast-moving quarters for sure, Gary DeLon. Double wide out set left, single receiver on the right. And
timeout.
Timeout is going to be called by Madison. So we're going to take a quick break here. You're listening to Frost High School Football.
Play the real estate investment game smarter by putting APIA on your team. They are the secret weapon for investors who own 5 or more rental properties. Their custom-built insurance policy allows investors to place their entire real estate portfolio under one policy with one renewal date. Real estate investors win by saving time and improving their cash flow. Call in the experts today. www.apiaprotects.com or call 877-752-2742.
In 2017 alone, 2.8 million U.S. workers were injured on the job. Construction, transportation, manufacturing, oil and gas, and agriculture were among the most dangerous industries for workplace accidents. If you were injured in a workplace accident, call Thomas J. Henry. Thomas J. Henry handles serious workplace accident cases and gets serious results for injured clients. Start your free claim today at tjhlaw.com/radio. That's tjhlaw.com/radio.
San Antonio,
I think the
Texas.
mystery's just been solved. This game is being televised, and the television signal is, for some reason, is knocking off our sideline microphone signal. That's the reason why we've had technical problems. Now here's the drop back.
As Lorenz throws a long ball to Link Milam, and it is almost going to be caught in coverage, but applying great coverage for the Madison Mavs was number 8, Demetrion Delane.
And Milam thought he was interfered with. He said something to the official as he trots back to the bench.
Yeah, I'm surprised a flag didn't come out there because it was a little underthrown, and Milam slowed down for the...
and he was hit just as he slowed down.
Exactly. He was slowing down, looking for the ball, and the defender never turned
But there's
and
been no slowing down in this
no.
rapid pace action here in the first half.
So it'll be Luke Hoggett to punt from his 25-yard line.
His brother was a great player. Oh,
here's the boot.
He was lucky to get that off.
You know, he had great blockers in the backfield, and that is an ill-advised catch.
Yeah, I think the ball came out.
Well, that should have been a fair catch because that was just too dangerous.
Yeah, the ball did come out. They're giving it back to Madison. But, yeah, he had 2 Reagan Rattlers getting ready to converge on him when he fielded that punt. He should have fair caught it.
Devon Cooper opted to try to run, and he almost lost the handle.
3 minutes, 25 seconds left in the second quarter. Now moving from my left to right. Trip set right, single set left. Here's the Madison Mavericks on another drive to see if they can possibly get a score before halftime. Here's Garza dropping back to pass, looking to his right, now looking to his left. Now he's rolling to his left. He's looking, he still has nothing. He's going to run it out of bounds.
He still gained about 5 yards, so it was a good recovery. And he was lucky to gain anything because Richard Jones was step for step until he got out of bounds. Gained 3.
Yeah, some defensive adjustments here as the first 2 series saw the offenses go down the field and score, and now nothing except punts.
So it'll be 2nd and 7. Here's Garza taking the snap as he hands it off to a new running back in the game for a gain of 1 on the carry.
Gabriel Green. Gabriel Green didn't have any place to go.
So that'll make it
already third down.
175-pound senior. Clock is ticking down to 2:50 now.
3rd and 6. As there's going to be a trip set right, single receiver isolated on the left. Here's Garza taking the snap, looking to his right now as he has a man open. It is caught, and the Reagan Rattlers are just on top of it tonight on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, it was a beautifully thrown ball, but there was no gain to it. It was Nevon Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper ran a 3-yard route when you needed 5 or 6 for a first down. So just kind of questionable play calling there, or at least a questionable pass on that one.
Isaiah McHugh now comes wide right.
Only a 22-yard kick last time on the punt. So he's going to be punting from his own 21. Here's the boot, and he's going to line drive it this time, and it's going to roll down to the 28-yard line.
George Johnson with the kick.
Or
no return.
37-yard kick for the Madison Mavs. 1 minute, 45 seconds left in the second quarter.
Going into the second half of the season now, and these teams know that every game is almost a must victory if they're going to make the playoffs in late November and early December.
This is going to be Carter Campbell on the wide right with Link Milam isolated on the left. Here's Lorenz as he takes the snap and hands it off to Carson Green. And Carson Green has room, and he's going to get the first down and more as he's brought down at about the 44-yard line.
Oh, that's Conwell.
That was Conwell carrying.
That's Conwell. He's got green shoes. Yep.
And making the stop was Max St. Pierre made that
Here's
last
the
stop.
snap by Lorenz as he hands it off to Conwell now. Conwell shooting for that right gap.
Jonathan Conwell with the carry.
It's going to be about a gain of 4 for Conwell, with the clock ticking down to about 1 minute and 10 left in the second quarter. Link Milam going out wide right with Carter Campbell isolated on the left.
Unbalanced line right.
Here's Lorenz as he takes the snap. He's going to drop back to pass, looking to his right. Now he has Link Milam in the middle, and he's going to way overthrow Link Milam.
He was double teamed, though, in the deep secondary.
That's just unlucky for the Reagan Rattlers, as the Madison Mavs are keen on Link Milam due to his success in previous games.
Demetrion Delane as well as Miguel Becker were the two guys deep, matching him step for step. But if that had been a little more powerful, he would have had 6.
3 of 5 for third down conversions for the Rattlers. Trip set right with a single receiver isolated on the left. Here's the snap by Lorenz as a handoff to Conwell, and he has absolutely nowhere to go. Give him about a gain of 2, but not enough for the first down.
Real conservative play call there right before halftime on
37 seconds to go. So it is a timeout. We'll keep it right here with 35 seconds showing on the scoreboard clock.
unusual first half. I mean, it's been exciting back and forth, teeter-totter, but they cannot put it in the end zone.
Kind of old-fashioned football, not really a whole lot of passing downfield, and when they do, they're trying for the big score, and overthrown a couple times as Link Milam from that Reagan offense. But
well, yeah, and then you guys keep telling me that I'm not seeing everything that I need to see, and I may have miscalled a play, but you have to be willing to forgive the old guy, and my eyes aren't what they once were.
And Madison took it.
Madison to take the timeout, so that means it's punt time.
Luke Hoggett punting from his own 36. Here's the boot. Almost getting tackled, but it's going to drop down and roll. And it's going to be fielded at about the 19-yard line on the Madison Mavericks territory.
31-yard kick, 32 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Fast-moving, exciting ball game. Not nearly as explosive as last night in that game between Johnson and MacArthur. The Brahmas put up a brilliant battle in that contest.
Yeah, I think we were all impressed with that team that comes in with a 1-4 record, and they played a heck of a lot better than what their record indicates.
You bet.
So it's going to be trip set right with the single receiver isolated on the left. Here's Garza dropping back to pass, looking to his right, looking for an open receiver. Now he's rolling to his left. There's a flag on the play, and he's going to keep it and be brought down for about a gain of 2.
First penalty of the game. There you go.
Luke Hoggett on the stop.
Holding.
By the offense, number 55. Half the distance. Repeat snap.
24 seconds left in the second quarter.
Very possible to get a score here.
They're going to repeat the first down.
It's dangerous territory here for Madison. You got a choice. Are you just going to try and go into halftime, or are you going to try and score before halftime?
I don't think, but I don't know. You're down to 24 seconds with 2 knees. Now they call it timeout. Well, we'll keep it right here with just 24 seconds on the scoreboard clock. As we told you earlier, Baylor won in 2 overtimes today over the fired-up Texas Tech Red Raiders. 33-30 final score, but the Red Raiders are going to knock off somebody pretty soon. They're a pretty good ball club.
Well, they knocked off Oklahoma State last week.
They sure did. And it was Alabama Crimson Tide 47, Texas A&M Aggies 28. University of Alabama at Birmingham is still playing against UTSA. 23-14 Birmingham in the fourth.
National League Championship Series Game 2. Washington takes a commanding 2-0 lead with a 3-1 victory over the St. Louis Cardinals. And in the American League, the Yankees have scored in the 4th inning, making the score in the top of the 4th, 1-0. Yankees over the Astros.
So it'll be double wide out set right with a single receiver on the left with a man in motion. Here's Garza handing it off to Gill, and Gill's going to go straight up the middle and fight back all the yards that he lost.
Moves very quickly and deceptively fast. He's kind of a squatty body, but boy, he had some wheels on him there, didn't he?
He definitely did, but I think last year you really saw his ability, and I think that's going to be the end of the quarter.
Oh, they're
going to get it off, and it's going to be Garza keeping it, and he's going to get through, and
Luke Hoggett's going to meet him in the middle of the field and put him in playing him on the hash mark, but that's the end of the first half.
Well, it's a 9-yard gain, but it's still 7-7 score on the scoreboard as we have this well-played, well-executed, and close defensive ball game. 7-7 tie at halftime between the Madison Mavericks and the Ronald Reagan Rattlers. And we'll be back. We hope to have David Hinojosa of the Express News with us here at halftime as a special guest. You're listening to Frost High School Football.
Whenever a young driver leaves for school, a game, or drives to the mall, parents want a peace of mind knowing where their youngster's located any time of day or night and when they'll be returning home. GPS of Texas provides that parental peace of mind with the high-tech tracking technology provided by Blake Stevens Company that can trace a vehicle from coast to coast and even to Alaska and Hawaii. A feeling of security and safety when GPS of Texas installs that device. Call Blake at 210-587-7634.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
In 2003, while playing in a football game for San Marcos Academy, Chris Canales, already offered a college scholarship, was involved in a tackle that transformed his life forever. He suffered a spinal cord injury and was left physically paralyzed, but Chris didn't allow the debilitating injury to affect his involvement with football. Since that time, Chris and Eddie have formed Gridiron Heroes, and now they have the support of many of the college coaches around the country, an organization helping players and families recover from catastrophic injuries. Gridiron Heroes. You can contact them at www.gridironheroes.org or call 210-849-9250.
Back at Hero Stadium, where the Reagan Rattlers and the Madison Mavericks have decided nothing. It's 7-7. Oh, I'm sorry. There's the camera. I was told by Rob to not, look the other way. So 7-7 Madison. Reagan at the half. Some quick scoring summaries. Reagan takes the opening kickoff, goes 15 yards, or 15 plays, 85 yards, 7:07 off the clock. An 11-yard swing pass from Lance Lorenz to Carson Green made the score 7-0. Madison got the ball on their first possession of the game and went down the field as well. 62 yards in 11 plays, 4:29 off the clock. A 16-yard pass play from Michael Garza to R.J. Kyle knotted the score at 7-7. And that's where we are right now, Walter. So let's see some stats on this.
Okay, Mark, thank you. Reagan had 10 first downs in the first half. Madison had 5 first downs. Reagan 99 yards rushing, 44 yards passing for a total of 143. Madison had 50 yards rushing, 62 yards passing for a total of 112. Both teams were pretty efficient on third downs, 3 of 6 for Reagan, 4 of 6 for Madison, and we've only had one penalty in the game. Madison had it late in the second quarter on a holding penalty for 10 yards, and the first half was 50 minutes off the clock. Pretty fast-moving first half. Both teams scored on their first possession, and we thought we might have a shootout, but after that, the defenses have taken over, and we've had a punting contest.
It wasn't just that. It looked like the defensive couldn't stop anybody on those first 2 scoring drives, and then all of a sudden they started getting stout, and all we had is a punting contest after that, like you said. So we're going to go ahead and break down and have a quick interview after this. So let's go to a couple commercials. You're listening to Frost High School Football.
Coming home means a lot of things to a lot of people. It's a place where you can kick off your shoes or even kick it up a notch. As the #1 mortgage lender in Texas for credit unions, you can trust RBFCU when buying your new home. We'll be there for you every step of the way. So whether it's buying your first home or financing your forever home, you can count on us to make your dream come true. To apply online and for complete details, visit rbfcu.org. Some restrictions may apply. Loan subject to credit approval. RBFCU is an equal housing lender.
In 1974, it began as a small printing company with 3 employees and a hope for the future. Today, Eagle Print has soared into the business community with 30 employees and the most efficient high-tech and graphic equipment in San Antonio. Maybe you need to print up a business plan for your next venture, or you might need a new marketing brochure for a top client. Ray's been involved with planning and designing such things for many, many years. His business cards are true marquees for business, professional, and personal use. That's Eagle Print, located at 8938 Broadway, north of Loop 410. Call 822-1908.
According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, motorcyclists are 26 times more likely to die in a crash compared to other motorists. Motorcycle accidents can cause severe injuries from road rash and broken bones to spinal injuries, brain injuries, and death. If you or a loved one were injured in a motorcycle crash, call Thomas J. Henry. Thomas J. Henry handles serious motorcycle accidents and gets serious results for injured clients. Start your free claim today at tjhlaw.com/radio.
San Antonio, Texas.
We are at halftime, 7-7, and this has been a 50-minute first half. That's probably faster than a Hertz rent-a-car. My goodness. 7-7, David Hinojosa. For those of you that may not know, David is from the Valley, where you covered high school football for many years down there.
Yeah, I've worked in McAllen twice, so I've covered, I covered Valley football for probably a total of about 13 years, and I worked in Dallas for about 10 years. So.
And were you at the Dallas Morning News?
I was at the Dallas Morning News, yeah. So.
Well, that's a change in journalistic style. And David is now covering for the Express News. And let me just say this. Every time that I've always met someone from a sports writing position, they don't do it for the money because they don't make a whole lot of money in this profession. I can vouch for that. But they do it for the love of the game, and that's exactly why you do it, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it. You know, I've been doing it for over 25 years, if that means anything to you. And, it's just a lot of fun. I love covering athletes kind of at the beginning level of wherever they go. Some go on to some greatness, and some go on.
Some go to greatness.
And some, most just go on, have a regular life. But this is kind of, and for most of those people, that's the time to get them because they're really enjoying it, and they really know that this is it for them. And I think they just to kind of capture those moments is really.
I'll never forget doing the game in the Alamo Dome many years ago when the when it was Westlake against Churchill, and there was a young man, a quarterback named Drew Brees.
Yeah, I've heard
and
of him.
I knew then that he was going to be destined for greatness.
Right.
Because he was tremendous just as a high school player, and no doubt you cover how many games? 3 or 4 dozen football season?
I don't know. I usually cover about at least 2 a week, and depending on how long it goes.
And you go about
season.
12 weeks or 14?
Yeah, depending on how long Judson stays in. So basically, that's what it's been like the last few years. Yeah.
And of course, we know Judson again is the power of the area. Wagner was power in 5A. And these two teams here have had better days, but I think they're greatly improving. You got the Reagan Rattlers, who've been in the playoffs many times last year. Madison was against Lake Travis again, but we did. I think you covered it in New Braunfels. So this district may be down a little bit talent-wise, but they seem to be improving every week.
Yeah, it is, and I think Reagan's doing a great job because Travis Staley's not out there. And I saw Reagan when they played Steele beginning of the year without Travis. And they just did not look good at all. And I've actually covered Reagan twice, and I haven't seen Travis Staley each time. But they're doing really good. I mean, they've got a good game plan. They're playing physical ball. They're playing on the ground. And they got a freshman running back who's emerging. He's looking like
we mentioned that.
He's going to be very special.
He really is.
Yeah, he finds the holes well. I mean, he's got really good running back instincts. And I think, we could be at the beginning stages seeing something real special.
So, no doubt, you said Judson is probably the best team that you've seen in this area at this point, right?
Yeah, I mean, they lost a lot of guys on defense, but they just kind of, as they say, they reload over there, and they're looking really good, and see what they do. They got Smithson Valley next week. I think Smithson Valley might give him a challenge. I just don't know if Smithson Valley's got the athletes to keep up with him. But we'll see. I mean, Judson's playing very well. They beat Steele. I think they still have Clemens ahead of them. So we'll see how that goes. But, yeah, I think they're going to be the team from 6A is going to make a run. It'll probably be them.
Now, everybody in this crew, we've seen several games already, too, and a lot of talent. But it's kind of been a consensus of opinion here in the booth that in 27-6A, you're looking probably in postseason at Roosevelt, Madison, Johnson, and Reagan. That's what we've kind of said.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Roosevelt's been a great team. Rashad Owens is a terrific athlete. I covered him during track season.
14 offers he's had already.
Yeah, he's amazing, and he almost jumped 50 feet in the triple jump, and that's when the offers started coming. They kind of saw what an athlete he is.
Yeah, he's a tremendous athlete.
And he's really built on that. He's doing a great job. I thought South Stand, if they were going to show us anything, it was going to be last night. And then
they didn't show anything.
And no, they didn't. And Roosevelt made it was a big statement game for them, I thought. But I think you're right in terms of those playoff teams. Reagan, as well as they're playing right now, if they don't win today, this game is still up in the balance.
Yes, it is.
And if Travis Staley is out for a prolonged period of time, I think they're vulnerable to.
I think you're right.
And so,
yep.
I think with Travis Staley, Reagan, I think is definitely going to be in. Without him, they're going to have to figure out some ways. But they're doing a really good job they've done a good job of it, at least in the first half, of figuring that out.
You mentioned Rashad Owens, of course, who is a candidate for the All-Star list, and that we have several kids in this ballgame who may be. But last year when we saw Madison, they lost a lot of their players, so they're not the team they were.
No.
But I see a great improvement in the guys, and Garza is looking pretty good at quarterback right now.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's no Dante Higgins, but not a lot of people are. But the thing about that I've been impressed with Madison is they got shut out twice in non-district. And I saw them against Smith and Valley, and they
were awful.
They did not look good at all. But they have regrouped in district play, and they are really playing some good football right now. And if they pull this one off right here, I mean, they're looking dangerous in terms of what they're what they could do in district.
I think it's going to come down to Johnson Roosevelt, in my opinion, because I think they have the most talent of the two teams.
Yeah, I think so too. And I have not been able to see either one, so I'm hoping to catch them.
Johnson is outstanding. They've got, Rodriguez, Justin Rodriguez, 5'8", 180 pounds.
Yeah.
He is a bulldozer.
Yeah, and he had a great season last year. We had our Elite 11 at the beginning of the year, and if it was an Elite 12, he probably would have been on that.
Yes.
But yeah, he's an outstanding runner, proven runner too. And like you said, very physical runner, very bullish runner. He can really grind out the yards.
We're talking with David Hinojosa of the San Antonio Express News, and we're going to come back and get just a couple of his opinions about some of the stories of the past. When we come back, you're listening to Frost High School Football.
Football has a long list of decorated heroes, yet it's the heroes that we encounter every day off the field that often make the greatest impact on our lives. For more than 75 years, BCFS has been a beacon of hope for children, families, and communities throughout Texas and around the world. Whether it's on the front lines of disaster response, providing medical care and shelter to survivors of hurricanes, tornadoes, tsunamis, or other emergencies. BCFS, a global system of health and human service nonprofits, making a profound difference in the lives of millions around the world.
Company cars, trucks, SUVs, vans, and fleet vehicles are involved in thousands of accidents every year. An accident with a company vehicle is not just another car accident. If you were injured in a company vehicle accident, call Thomas J. Henry. Thomas J. Henry handles serious company vehicle accident cases and gets serious results for injured clients. Start your free claim today at tjhlaw.com/radio. That's tjhlaw.com/radio.
San Antonio, Texas.
Gary DeLon back at halftime. It is 7-7. It is a tie game, 50-minute first half. I think that's the fastest I've seen in many, many seasons. David Hinojosa of the Express News, veteran sports writer from the Valley, Dallas Morning News, and now he's been covering it for some 25 years. So let's leave out Johnny Manziel.
Uh-huh.
Who's the best player you ever saw?
In football, I'd have to go back to my Dallas days, and you put me on a spot here. I left Dallas right before Kyler Murray and Allen.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's a good question. I could tell you some basketball players. I saw Chris Bosh play at Lincoln.
Yeah.
LaMarcus Aldridge at Seagoville. I saw those two. Those are probably the two prominent ones that I've seen and covered.
What do you prefer covering most, basketball or football?
I like I like football. I like covering games, and I like the grind of it because it's such a long season.
Yeah.
Basketball, I'm usually done in about 90 minutes in a game. The games last for about an hour.
Oh, you talk about the coverage of your story for afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot easier, Sometimes football's a bit of a grind, and it's fun, though, but it's a lot of fun. I mean,
who makes your assignments, David?
I kind of give my editor like a suggested list of games to cover, And then we try to go out, at least early in the season, we try to go out and see as many teams as we can, try to cover as many teams as we can. And as the season progresses, you know, we know which games have bigger stakes.
Right.
And then we try to focus in on those. So we're kind of getting into that portion of the season right now, and you know, we'll see how it goes.
Real quickly, back in 1971, I moved here from Houston, and there was no football being carried on radio.
Yeah.
None. And so Barry Robinson and I, who was then sports editor of the Express News, got together and we said, we've got to get this on the air, because I'd been doing it in Dallas and Houston. So the first, we were on KBUC, and then we were on different stations. Harold Banks came to us and said, we want to put them on Mr. Turner's station.
Right.
So we did it. I've done high school football on 18 different stations in San Antonio. Because the program directors are strange guys. That's, it's interrupting our rock and roll format or our format. So, but it's been a labor of love for me as it is for you. And these guys all feel exactly the same way. And to me, I look forward to September. And after December, I'm kind of in a state of depression.
Oh, are you? Well, I have other sports to cover, so I'm actually okay. I cover baseball, and once that baseball tournament ends, state tournament ends, kind of take it easy. And I, this past summer, covered baseball, got that done, got the El Area team done. Went to Colorado I went on vacation to Colorado for a week, stayed home for a week, and then we were. Late June, we were working on the football preview. So.
When Lon Kruger was coach at Pan American, did you think to yourself he's going to be a big coach someday?
No, nobody did. Nobody did. I have fond memories of him. I was a senior in high school when he left. I was from Edinburgh High School. I grew up 3 blocks from Pan American.
Wow.
Yeah, so I saw Abe Lemons. I saw Abe Lemons coach when I was a kid. They had a great shooter named Marshall Rogers. I don't know if you
remember the name.
Yeah, but never imagined Lon Kruger would do what he did. But I want to say this about Lon Kruger. He has never forgotten where he's come from.
Right.
He has been a donor to the athletic department since he left.
Is that right?
And he's been I don't know the number, or I do, but it's significantly. He's and I've always appreciated that about him. And I think that says a lot
He's
about him.
a class act, there's no doubt about it.
That says a lot about him.
Yeah, and it has been my great privilege to be involved in Texas sports, high school basketball and football, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. And people say, who was the first game? I said, it was Sunset High School in 1960 in Dallas. Jerry Rome was quarterback for his father, Byron Rome, at Sunset High School. I saw some great players at Dallas and all over the state of Texas, and I met a lot of great sports writers. The late Dan Cook, Bob Ostrom, who's still with us at 93. He was with the San Antonio Light, and then you had Tim Griffin. You had, oh golly, there's so many more.
Well, I want to say this. This guy deserves a lot of credit for our archives. Is John Hines. And
absolutely.
If you've ever walked into our sports department, we have stacks of notebooks, just notebooks of stats, scoring, standings from. I don't know how long
the encyclopedia of high school football.
And if it weren't for that, I think there would be a lot of high school history lost.
Yeah,
and it's
right.
all in his handwriting, and I don't think it's priceless, man. It really is. It really is. Yeah.
Well, Buck Harvey didn't cover high school football, but Harry Page did, and you had John Hines, Tim Griffin, Tom Osborne.
David Flores, who's still covering it around here.
And so you got so much coverage. And South Texas loves high school football.
Yep.
To me, it is the national sport of Texas.
I think so. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I mean, I grew up in the Valley, and that's all they talk about. Anytime a Valley team comes up here and plays, the San Antonio Corpus, they bring people.
Did you cover any volleyball down there at all?
I did. When I was in the Monitor, the second time around, I covered volleyball.
So you had the Valley of the Dolls.
What's that? There we go.
There we go again. All right. Okay.
I fell for it.
David Hinojosa, who is the great sports writer covering high school football. Terrence Thomas is also one of your cohorts, right?
Yeah, it's Terrence and I. We're carrying the load right now.
So we'll be back at, again, Hero Stadium coming up with the third quarter. Chase Holly be here. The youngest play-by-play man in all of Texas, Mark Witherell, who, by the way, people don't know this. He is director of all security for the VIA bus system. And he never gets me a token free either. And then we got Rob Hicks, the best producer in all of Texas. Walter Stoops, for 35 years, the sports writer, statistical expert for the for the Spurs, and of course then Charles Vickers, who's been with us for several seasons. Thank you, David, for coming by.
Thank you, Aaron, for having me. Yeah.
We'll be back. You're listening to High School Football on Frost Radio.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
APIA specializes in real estate investor insurance. For years, investors have struggled managing individual insurance policies. So APIA built a program to put investors' properties under one insurance policy. They've been helping investors save time and improve cash flow nationwide since 2001. APIA has the flexibility to meet the unique demands of both investors and financial institutions. Call in the real estate asset protection experts today, www.apiaprotects.com, or call 877-752-2742.
While some banks are slow to approve auto loans, RBFCU is hitting the gas. With one of San Antonio's lowest loan rates and fast online approval, you'll have more time and money to live life your way. Apply today at rbfcu.org. Subject to credit approval, rates and terms subject to change. Other restrictions may apply. Better rates. It's what we do at RBFCU.
Hard work, dedication, commitment. Qualities that are found on a winning football team and qualities that you should look for in a contractor. Central Builders has conducted their businesses by these qualities for 25 years. The dedication has resulted in coast-to-coast clients who aim to build, remodel, and restore their large and small businesses. Many school districts and grocery chains, such as H-E-B, have selected CBI as their first string to implement and improve existing structures as well. Call CBI 210-590-0235.
According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, more than 100 Americans die each day in traffic crashes, and thousands more are injured. If you were injured in a car crash, call Thomas J. Henry. Thomas J. Henry handles serious auto accident cases and gets serious results for injured clients. Start your free claim today at tjhlaw.com/radio. That's tjhlaw.com/radio.
San Antonio, Texas.
Every family wants the assurance that their most valuable possessions are protected and secure for the future. That's why you need the most insurance coverage that budgets can afford. Even though his company is headquartered in Texas, John Lester is expanding his company from coast to coast. He has recently added several major insurance companies to better serve his growing clientele. You are protected from hurricane, fire, auto accidents, even a polar bear attack. John Lester once played linebacker for the Bastrop Bears, knows the importance of insurance. Call John Lester's Insure 1-210-541-9771.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
In 1984, high school students were dancing to the song Hey Mickey. That same year, Sherry Armstrong opened Mecca Sportswear to provide those students with quality leather jackets along with all district and all state patches. Well, now, 3 decades later, Sherry and her family are still providing custom leather jackets and award patches to South Texas' greatest student achievers. Call toll-free HEY Mecca. Hey Mecca, 844-HEY-MECA.
In 2017, more than 4,700 people were killed in crashes involving large trucks in the U.S. Semi-trucks, which weigh 20 to 30 times as much as passenger cars, can cause severe injuries in the event of a wreck. If you were injured in an 18-wheeler accident, call Thomas J. Henry. Thomas J. Henry handles serious trucking cases and gets serious results for injured clients. Start your free claim today at tjhlaw.com/radio. That's tjhlaw.com/radio.
San Antonio, Texas.
Every San Antonio family has a dream to live in their own castle. There's one San Antonio real estate expert who can fulfill that dream, and he has provided many wonderful kingdoms for hundreds of home buyers in South Texas. Chris Collins of RE/MAX Preferred has been the realtor selected by families that want to make that dream a reality. He'll provide the expertise and confidence to purchase the home that's your address for future happiness. Call Chris at RE/MAX Preferred 210-213-2432.
Coming home means a lot of things to a lot of people. It's a place where you can kick off your shoes or even kick it up a notch. As the #1 mortgage lender in Texas for credit unions, you can trust RBFCU when buying your new home. We'll be there for you every step of the way. So whether it's buying your first home or financing your forever home, you can count on us to make your dream come true. To apply online and for complete details, visit rbfcu.org. Some restrictions may apply. Loan subject to credit approval. RBFCU is an equal housing lender.
Madison will receive here in the second half because they won the toss of the coin, opted to kick off. And Chase Holly, we want to thank you for being with us tonight. We know you had some things to do in your birthday week, and thank you for taking time off and for bringing us a piece of birthday cake.
Well, I'm not a big fan of birthday cake. I don't like cake. Makes me feel sick and makes me want to throw up. But it's been a great birthday week. It's still going on. I think it's going to carry on into the next week too. So many people want to celebrate my birthday, and I don't really care about my birthday, but it's okay because I get free celebrations.
Yeah.
And we have our microphone back, I think, for field level broadcast, we hope, as Charles Vickers will head down again to the sideline. And it's 7-7 score. Even though it's been a defensive standoff, it's still an exciting ball game.
Exciting game and a fast-paced game. Like we may be out of here by 9:30, as you said. If we've got something that looks like defensive adjustments, I think you're going to see maybe some over-the-top passes by Madison, and you're going to see some outside runs by
And it's
Reagan.
Kickoff time here in the third.
And here's the boot, and it's going to be a little pooch kick going to about the 31-yard line. It is caught by Cooper, and he's going to stay on his feet, missing tackles, and he's going to be brought down by the second-to-last man.
Yeah.
And the last guy, you're right, Chase, and that was Pedro Ryan, who had the shot at him. And but they're putting it back to 41.
So the Madison Mavs will have a chance to possibly score after a long standstill of 7-7.
This is the team that went to the quarterfinals, rather the by-district championship game last year, then lost to Lake Travis in the playoffs.
Trip set left. Here's Garza handing the ball off to Gill, and Gill's going to slip through the middle on the outside right and pick up a gain of about 8.
Yeah, very patient run there by Gill as he waited for the offensive line to form on the outside and break open right there at the numbers. Good pickup on first down by Gill.
Staggers and Jacob Bullock make the stop, and it's good they did. He would have had more yardage.
Trip set left with a pass going out on the flank left, and he's going to be brought down at the 46-yard line. R.J. Kyle on the reception for the Madison Mavs as they're going to rotate trip set right. They're doing a lot of trips.
At the 46.
Here's Garza. Takes the snap, and there's a penalty on
There's
the
one of
play.
the few penalties there. One of the few mistakes they've made in their offense.
Yeah, the left guard jumped up out of his stance before this ball was snapped. So 2 penalties for 15 yards for Madison.
Say, this is kind of interesting. It was on this date in 2009, the weekend of the 12th, when Rayfield Wright and Cliff Harris were inducted into the Cowboys Ring of Honor. What 2 great players they were, huh?
So it'll be 1st and 15 now.
Trip
set right. Here's the pass on the flank to Cooper, and Cooper caught the ball, and he's going to try to get to the outside right with nowhere to go. give him about a gain of 1 on the play as the Reagan Rattlers.
Pedro Ryan makes the stop. It's a good thing he did.
Or else he would have been gone on the outside flank.
I wonder, his name is Cooper, right?
Cooper. Josh Cooper. Trip set left now. 2nd and 14 for the Madison Mavs. Isolated receiver on the right. Here's Garza dropping back to pass, looking to his left. Now he's looking to his right. Now he's rolling to his right as he's going to keep the ball and go up to about the 49-yard line in the Reagan Rattlers territory.
Yeah, very slow getting up. He trailed on the play, and he was the blocker, and that was Raymond Jackson.
With that gain of 1, you can't call it a sack, but it was coverage down the field that made him have to tuck the ball and run and try and make anything out of that, bringing up a 3rd down.
So that'll make it 3rd and 13. The clock ticking. 9 minutes, 47 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. This has been a really fast-moving pace
and
game.
No wind to speak of tonight that will affect any of the kicking game.
Trip set left. Here's Garza with Gill. Now in motion. Going out towards the right. Here's Garza.
Another penalty. That's their 2nd penalty here in the 2nd half.
Yeah,
well, that wasn't a penalty.
Madison called the timeout before the play clock ran out, and they were going to get a 5-yard penalty.
Yep. Any late score on the Notre Dame game?
Couple scores from college football. LSU 21-14 over Florida down in the swamp. Some of the other big games, 17-3 Notre Dame over USC in the 3rd quarter.
SC has had, they've had a drop-off in their football program the last few years.
Yes, they have.
And from Houston, bottom of the 5th inning, still Yankees 1-0 over Houston, game 1 of the ALCS.
I hope we don't start the old chant, wait till last year. They've got to win this one.
So the Madison Mavs will be coming back onto the field along with the Reagan Rattlers. Trip set left as Garza takes command of the controls. Game resumes play. Here's Garza. Now Gill's in motion going towards the right.
Yep.
Setting his feet. Here's Garza dropping back to pass. Now faking and keeping. And he's going to have room. He's going to the 30, the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, and he's in the end zone. 49 yards, Gary DeLon.
He moved to the outside faster than a cow going to the feed trough. My goodness, and the Mavericks were on a stampede. Deceptively fast. No one on the field thought Mike Garza was that fast. 6 feet 180 as a senior. 80 yards on 10 carries, averaging 8 yards a tote. But boy, that's the longest gain of the night for either team.
And here is the play, which was a 2-point conversion try, and they didn't get it as the Reagan Rattlers batted it down.
13-7 is now our score, and you're listening to Frost High School football.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
Back at Hero Stadium, where the Madison Mavericks have taken the 2nd half kickoff all the way into the pay dirt area. 5 plays, 59 yards, 2:29 off the clock. A 49-yard touchdown rush by Michael Garza makes the scores 13-7 as the 2-point conversion failed.
Nothing fancy, just a straight quarterback keep. Got a tremendous block over on the right side. On 3rd down.
So it'll be the Madison Mavericks' turn to kick the ball off to Lamarck Patterson and Pedro Ryan in the backfield. Ibarra will be kicking it off.
Exciting play.
Here's the boot, and it's going to go deep to about the 1-yard line, and it's fair caught. So they'll get it at the 25-yard line on a 1st down and 10.
Yeah, kind of a mirror image of what we saw in the 1st half is Reagan took the opening kickoff down and scored and was matched by Madison. Now Madison takes the opening kickoff of the second half in to score. Let's see if Reagan can match their score with another.
It looks like they've made some changes at halftime, going to that trips formation for the Madison Mavs. Let's see what the Reagan Rattlers do. Is Staten Ankrum in the play? I don't know. Here's Lorenz taking the snap.
Bobbled up.
And that's Carson Green.
Bobbled it just he got the handoff.
And it looks as if Staten Ankrum is out on that wide right side now, with Link Milem on the left. So it'll be Lorenz taking the snap, taking his time, and here's the handoff to Carson Green, and Carson Green going to the right and picking up a gain of about 3 on the carry, making it 3rd and 1 with 8 minutes, 43 seconds left in the third quarter. 3 of 6 for third down conversions for the Rattlers on their offensive drives. Staten Ankrum now on the left, Link Milem on the right. Here's Lorenz taking the snap as he hands it off to Carson Green. Carson Green is now met by a Madison Mav.
And you talk about a well-timed tackle, and that was made by Noah Dudley.
No gain. And 3 and out for the Rattlers.
Dudley really came into the picture just as looked like it's going to be the first down, but he missed it by about a half a foot.
As the play clock ticks down to 5 seconds now. Here's the snap and here's the boot. And it's going to spiral in an odd manner and roll out of bounds at the 34-yard line. So we got a little scuffling going on.
32-yard punt, 7:37 to play here in the third quarter. Now, the Mavs have the ball and the lead.
So the Madison Mavs will be looking to score once again.
It's like Jacob Bullock is back on the field on the defense for Reagan. We had a report from the sideline from Charles that he had gone off holding his shoulder after that long run by Garza.
Double wide out set both sides. Here's the QB keep, and he's got room, and he's going to be brought down quickly.
Gain of 10 for the really swift quarterback. My goodness.
And it looks like we have a shaken up player down on the field at about the 44-yard line. With 7 minutes, 24 seconds left in the third quarter.
Well, while they're attending to the injured player, let's go ahead and take another brief timeout. It's going to be a while to take care of him. You're listening to Frost High School Football.
APIA specializes in real estate investor insurance. For years, investors have struggled managing individual insurance policies. So APIA built a program to put investors' properties under one insurance policy. They've been helping investors save time and improve cash flow nationwide since 2001. APIA has the flexibility to meet the unique demands of both investors and financial institutions. Call in the real estate asset protection experts today, www.apiaprotects.com, or call 877-752-2742.
We're back at Hero Stadium as Pedro Ryan was the shaken up player, but he walked off the field on his own power, so he'll be okay. Double wide out set both sides. Here's Garza taking the snap as he fake handoff to Gill, and he's going to pass it out on the flank, and he's got room. He's going to get to the outside. He's to the 40, and he's brought down out of bounds. That's Cooper on the reception. Nevon Cooper.
5'9", 155 pounds. He's only a sophomore. He was headed for the graduation class there. Wow. And Madison is taking over out here in the third quarter, Chase.
They definitely are. I think they really focused on maybe changing up their offensive style of play.
28-yard gain.
Yeah, they've definitely taken the safety off of this offense, and they've been really very aggressive, and it's paying off for them here in the second half so far.
Double wide out set right, single on the left. Here's the little kind of flea flicker, maybe?
It was a direct snap.
And a wildcat.
So who's the quarterback throwing number 8?
Number 8. We don't have him on the list. Let's see. No, Demetrion Delane.
Demetrion Delane?
A starter on defense.
But he didn't.
Yeah, he you could tell he was a starter on defense because he had a wide open receiver
and he missed him.
Trick play there.
So he double wide out set both sides. Here's Garza taking the snap as he dives.
Oh, yeah, he didn't get anything there.
Pick up a gain of 2, so that'll make it a 2nd and 8 with 6 minutes, 30 seconds left in the third quarter.
Waiting for him right in the traffic lane was Dwayne Murray.
Yeah, big Dwayne Murray there from the interior of that Reagan line. He wrapped him up and planted him.
5 of 7 for third down conversions for the Mavs. Double wide out set both sides.
Dwayne 6'1", 255.
Garza drops back to snap. And he's going to throw. And it is caught. And he's going to get the first down. And brought out of bounds.
Yeah, it's the tight end over on that right side. I thought it was number 84. And if that's the case, it wasn't 84. There is no 84, so it had to be 24, I guess, huh?
And it looks like the Rattlers are getting a little frustrated. Double wide out set both sides. Here's Garza as he hands the ball off.
Well, no place to go except in the big green pileup.
As there's a little tussling going on, and there's an injured player for the Mavs.
Yeah, in pain, obvious pain.
That looked like one of the big.
It's one of the big offensive
It's
Kai
linemen.
Bowers, 6'3", 320. Oh, they can't lose him. He is a tractor in that forward wall. 6'3", 200 and what did I say? 320 pounds. Oh my goodness.
Report from the sideline that Wildcat pass was actually Hagen's in there, number 6 for the Madison Mavericks. Deshaun trying to emulate his brother, but overthrew the wide open receiver on that play.
So as we await the injury, let's go to a quick timeout. You're listening to Frost High School Football.
While some banks are slow to approve auto loans, RBFCU is hitting the gas. With one of San Antonio's lowest loan rates and fast online approval, you'll have more time and money to live life your way. Apply today at rbfcu.org. Subject to credit approval, rates and terms subject to change. Other restrictions may apply. Better rates. It's what we do at RBFCU.
We're back at Hero Stadium as the injured player is limping, taking pressure off of.
Oh yeah, that looks
the right leg.
He can't put any pressure on that, and he's the big kid. 6'3", 320, a senior, Kai Bowers, and boy, he's strong too. Let's hope that he's not suffering a serious injury. He can't put. He's putting a little more weight on it as he goes to the sidelines.
I'm receiving text from the sidelines. That was Gabriel Green on that last running play.
So he's gonna approach slowly, and he has entered the out-of-bounds area. And hopefully the big man will be okay.
Biggest man on the field tonight.
Yes, because of his height, or else he'd be close match with Anthony Herrera, who's 6'2", 320 on the offensive line for the Madison Mavs.
That is huge.
Huge. Opens up huge holes. Trip set right. Here's Garza taking the snap, handing it off to Gill. Gill going to the outside left, and he's going to get a gain of about 6 yards.
Yeah, they're beginning to use their size that you mentioned, beginning to overpower a tiring Reagan defense.
Definitely. The Madison Mavs have really worked on their offensive capabilities, and it looks like they're going to dominate the rest of this quarter. Double wide out set both sides as Garza puts a man in motion. That's the tight end, and it's a handoff to
what
Gill.
a great read that was.
And That is going to be 4th and 2.
The safety blitz, I think that was Jacob Bullock on a safety blitz. Just as the handoff was made, he was right in the shoulder pad area to stop it.
It looks like they're going to be going for it, Walter.
4:44 to play in the third quarter.
Double wide out set right, single receiver on the left. As Navon Cooper is in motion, Garza handing it off to Cooper. And he has nowhere to go. Met at the line of scrimmage, and that'll not be a first down.
Excellent defensive play, and he saved a first down for sure. That was Sean Jones.
So that'll be a turnover on downs as the Rattlers now have a chance to come back at the Madison Mavs.
4:27 in the third.
So the Reagan Rattlers offense is going to have to find something here to use against the Madison Mavs' speedy defense. Link Milam isolated on the right. Staten Ankrum isolated on the left. Here's Lorenz as he takes the snap and he hands it off. And running the ball
is
Cho. That's his third carry of the night. Pick up a 4 for him as the clock starts to tick once again. Fast-moving game. 2nd and 6. Link Milam on the left, Staten Ankrum on the right. As we await the snap. Lorenz setting his feet. Takes the snap and he hands it off. That was an ill-advised fake handoff as he is triple teamed to the ground by 3 big Madison Mavs. Loss of 3 for the Rattlers. Not what they wanted there. 3 minutes, 30 seconds left in the third quarter. 3 of 7 for third down conversions. As Lorenz takes the snap, drops back to pass. He's looking to his left. He's got Ankrum and just goes straight through his hands. Number 13 for the Madison Mavs, which is George Johnson, almost intercepted it on that play.
Reagan will make a great stop, and they'll have 1 or 2 plays that look good, and then they just seem to lose their concentration.
Yeah, couldn't take advantage of that 4th down hold by their defense, and this is second 3 and out in the second half.
So it'll be punt time as Luke Hoggett will punt from his own 6-yard line. Here's the boot, and it is going to spiral and be...
it was caught, and then the returner fell down. And a 34-yard kick, and it was Josh Cooper who made the punt catch.
Here we go.
Leadoff home run in the top of the 6th for the Yankees makes it 2-0. Yankees over Astros.
Trip set right. It's the Madison Mavs. Take the wheel. Here's Garza. Takes the snap and he looks to his right. He throws out on the flank, and that's Josh Cooper on the reception as he fights for more yardage on his feet. Being brought down at the 48-yard line in Reagan Rattlers territory. As the clock starts to tick once again, 2 minutes, 55 seconds left in the third quarter.
Madison offense really attacking the corners of this Reagan defense after halftime. That's the adjustment that they wanted to make, and they're making the best of it.
Double wide out set left, double wide out set right. Here's Garza looking to his left now as he throws a low ball.
It's intercepted.
That's
hit the ground, they say.
Well, I think the cornerback over there thought it may have been a backwards pass, but he picked it up and ran for nothing because they were saying incomplete forward pass from the very beginning.
Well, it was a good exercise program for Matthew Scannell, who rambled about 50 yards downfield.
So it'll be double wide out set right with a single receiver on the left. That's Josh Cooper isolated. Here's Garza. Long count as he looks over to the bench now. Changing the play. As Gill switches from left to right. Garza's side. Here's Garza taking the snap, looking to his right. Now he's rolling to his right, being pressure applied, and it is incomplete. Intended receiver was number 3, R.J. Kyle for the Mavs, but he was being pressured by 2 Reagan Rattlers in the secondary. So
yeah, some good coverage there by the Reagan secondary. Knocked that ball out.
Coverage.
Met the receiver right when the ball came in, and another 3 and out for Madison. That defense is starting to hold.
So that'll be another 3rd and out as we rotate on over to the Reagan Rattlers once again. And here's the boot. And it's going to be a high kick.
Fair catch at the 15.
That's Luke Hoggett fielding the ball.
Remember his brother, Jake Hoggett? He was a heck of an
I do.
athlete.
He was. He was a good player.
By the way, Mark, I haven't had a chance to talk to you, but the situation at Mary Hardin Baylor, they've been stripped of 2 championships and all the victories in 1916-17. I think it's going to be appealed, and I hope they can win it because the circumstances are rather foggy around the reason why they did it.
Well, it's not just that. It's that school took a lot of. I'll wait till after the play here.
And here's the snap, and it's Carson Green carrying the ball, and they lined up in almost like a power football formation with the bunch crunch on both sides.
Yeah.
But the school self-reported to the NCAA. They suspended the coach. They did everything they could, and it was for the coach lending a player their car.
Yeah, I'm sure the kid was probably from a poor family, and he didn't have any way to get to school, and I'm sure that Pete Fredenberg, who's a heck of a good coach and a good friend of mine, he loaned him his car.
Yeah. And it wasn't like he loaned him a 2017 Mercedes or Corvette or something. It was an old Subaru from what I was told.
As Link Milam's in motion, here's Lorenz dropping back pass. Now rolling to his right. He's got a man, but he's being covered and is almost intercepted.
What a great effort.
That was,
might have caught it. It was tipped. It went into the air, and as he fell onto the turf, he brought it in.
It looked like he reached around the defender to tip it to himself, and as he's on his back on the ground, Link Milam comes up with a football.
A highlight reel for the night, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Link Milam now isolated on the left with Staten Ankrum on the right.
First down of the second half for
and
Reagan.
Don't forget, it's 13-7, a touchdown in PAT.
Here's Lorenz taking the snap as he hands off to Carson Green, and it's a hard hit.
Oh, yeah.
And he bounces up like a Timex watch. Wow.
A Timex watch. Haven't heard about a Timex watch in a while.
John Cameron Swayze.
That's right.
It's a Timex. It keeps on ticking.
Takes a licking and keeps on ticking.
36 seconds left. Here's Lorenz handing it off to Carson Green as he is, slammed to the floor.
First guy to slam to the turf, who's been mentioned several times tonight, Elijah Grady.
Yeah, he's met Deshaun Hagens a couple times and face mask to face mask, and it hadn't worked out well for Carson Green.
3 of 8 for third down conversions.
They may not get this play away, and they will not get this play off before the end of the third. That's the end of the third stanza from Hero Stadium. Very patient crowd enjoying defensive football because that's what we have. And one of my pet peeves, friends, I will editorialize. There are no bands here tonight. They are in competition. I resent that because bands are formed in high schools to provide the spirit and the band music for all football games, and you don't have competition for bands during football games when there are important contests like this. Sorry, that's just my opinion.
Now, I can remember back to my playing days way back in the Stone Age, but we remember as players on the field hearing that band, it got us charged up to go out there and play, and it was part of the whole Friday night experience. And for them not to be here, it just kind of like they pulled a tooth out of your head, and you can't understand what the gap is for.
It's a terrible rule.
Over at Comalander Stadium, just an update between Churchill and Lee. They just started the fourth quarter. Churchill leads Lee 29-22.
Thank you, Rob.
246 total yards for Madison, 176 for Reagan, but Reagan is driving 3rd down and 5 starting the fourth quarter.
The Reagan Rattlers going from my left to right. Here's Lorenz taking the snap as he throws it way high of Staten Ankrum. And Staten Ankrum is slow to get up as he is hit on that route.
Yeah, that's one of those times that you don't want to be a receiver, and the quarterback kind of hung him out there. A defensive back wants to hit that receiver with his arms up, and that receiver's going to go there and talk to the quarterback on that, saying, man, you're trying to kill me.
6 punt coming up for the Rattlers. And here's the boot by Luke Hoggett, and it's going to be fair caught at the 29-yard line. 32-yard kick for the young man.
That is not a strong foot.
Not at all. No wind. So it'll be double wide out set right with a single receiver on the left. It'll be the Madison Mavs' turn to see if they can get one more score in this game. Here's Garza taking the snap, hands it off to Gill, and Gill goes straight through that right gap, and he's going to get about a gain of 5.
Yeah. The difference of this game so far is the one big play in the second half by Michael Garza, that 49-yard touchdown.
So it'll be a double wide out set left with a single receiver isolated on the right. Here's Garza taking the snap, and he hands it off to Gill, and Gill's going to try to get to that right outside, and he's got the first down and a little bit more. So the chains will move. 11 minutes, 13 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Fast-moving ball game, Gary DeLon.
It's been a well-played, clean ball game as well.
Walter just pointed out it's not even 9 o'clock. It's 8:57. So it'll be a bunch crunch formation on the left side with an isolated receiver on the right. Here's a man in motion. That's Navon Cooper as he goes over to the right side as the ball snapped. Garza rolling to his right, looking for a receiver, and it is caught, but it is out of bounds. So that'll make it 2nd and 10 for the Madison Mavs. 3-0 for the Yankees.
Bottom of the 6th inning. They're one hitting the Astros so far. Those bats are not showing up tonight for the Astros.
Well, that's very sad. Here's Garza going to his left now, and he's got space, and he's going to turn on those boosters. He's got some good speed out there. He is sneaky fast.
Made a really good jump cut in the hole because he had 2 of the green shirts from that Reagan defense trying to take him down, and behind the line of scrimmage turned that into a big gain.
So it'll be 1st and 10. The ball on the 47-yard line in Reagan Rattler territory, going from my right to left. 104 yards rushing for Garza, and here's Gill with the handoff, and he has nowhere to go.
Well, even though these the quarterbacks I'm talking about have done it a different way, this is another dominant Madison quarterback. He's not as dynamic as Hagen's was last year, but he's able to put the team on his back and do some things that make the chains move and keep the defense off the field.
13 carries and 104 yards for Garza. And 118 yards passing. Here's Navon Cooper in motion going to the right side, and he's got the reverse handoff, and he's going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Cooper on the run.
Now he's claiming he did not fall. Yeah, but there was a whistle. It doesn't matter if he went down or not. There was a whistle that stopped that play.
So the Madison Mavs will be disappointed, as I see the disappointment looks on their faces on the sideline. Blaine Peterson coming out there to meet the head ref at the 48-yard line. So that's going to be no gain on the play.
Well, Cooper was tackled, but he's saying that he fell on the defender and never hit the ground, so he kept running. And I think the coaches on that sideline are oh. So they admitted to an inadvertent whistle. So replay the down on second down.
Well, that's a tough loss for the Madison Mavs. They definitely could. Double wide out set both sides. Here's Garza taking the snap, dropping back to pass.
Forced out of the pot. Uh-oh, watch it.
He missed a tackle. Now he's rolling to his right. Now he's keeping the ball, tucking it. He's to the 50. He's to the 45, and he's going to be knocked down at the 44-yard line.
And they didn't get the first down.
You know, I'd be running too if I was running from Dwayne Murray coming to have me. That's a big third down here late.
So it's going to be trip set right with a single receiver on the left. That's Josh Cooper isolated. 8 minutes, 34 seconds left in the fourth quarter. 13-7, the Madison Mavs lead. Here's Garza taking the snap, dropping back to pass, looking to his left. Now he's being pressured. He's trying to just slide. And he looks a little bit shaken up.
Yeah, he got tackled from the side low. I'm glad he got up and jumped off the field there, but a failure on third down is going to bring out the punt team.
So the Madison Mavs will be punting from their 41-yard line as the clock ticks.
It's slowed almost at armadillo pace now.
Yes, it has. Here's the boot, and it's odd-looking boot, but it's going to be fair caught at the 15-yard line by Luke Hoggett.
Yeah, information from Charles on the sideline says that player was never on the ground. That should have been a play continuation. And running into the end zone, and that inadvertent whistle stopped it all.
Really? Oh, my. It was an inadvertent whistle.
So they're admitting they should not have stopped the play with a whistle.
I think I knew him on my career. Johnny Inadvertent. Sure whistled me down a lot.
All right, Gary DeLon. Link Milam going out wide left. Here's Lorenz dropping back to pass, looking to the left, now looking to the right. He throws it to Conwell on the little bubble pass, and he's going to be brought out of bounds. And the ball is going to be placed at the 25-yard line now.
And I think the primary defender on that play was
and that's going to be
Miguel
the first
Becker.
down.
7:34 to go.
You know, it just seems like Madison has not got on track in the second half and
no, they haven't.
Never got back to that opening drive to where they just pushed the ball
They
right
were
up the middle.
sensational that opening drive.
They kind of gave up on the running game, looks like.
Well, they're going to give them the first down. They change or
I have not seen the status of the big fella. Here's a long bomb.
And it's just too short and thrown low to Link Milam, who was the intended receiver.
I'm looking over there to see if Anthony Herrera is anywhere near the bench at 320 pounds, 6'3.5".
Maybe. Maybe not. Double wide out set left. Single receiver on the right. Lorenz taking the snap as he hands it off to Conwell. And Conwell's going to fight for some yardage as he picks up a gain of about 5 on the play. as the clock continues to tick down.
(2011) on this date, the weekend when TCU voted to join the Big 12 conference, replacing, guess who? Texas A&M.
Trip set left, single receiver on the right.
3 of 9 on third down conversions.
Here's Lorenz taking the snap and handing off to Conwell, and Conwell is met by 2 Madison Mavs.
Wow, he carried 2 Madison Maverick defenders to that first down.
Conwell doing a great job at the running back position along with Carson Green tonight.
Yeah, there's enough time left on this clock, and you're only down by 6. I don't think you just start throwing the ball all around. Go back to that running game. A couple handoffs there, and you're moving the chains both times.
So it's going to be double wideout set right with the single receiver isolated on the left. Here's Lorenz dropping back to pass, looking to the right. Now Link Milam overthrowing. Link Milam just...
Well, he had triple coverage.
He did have triple coverage, too.
And there wasn't much of a chance that he was going to get that because it was like he's in the middle of a triangle.
Yeah, Madison offense trying to lobby the referees for a flag there, but I think that was uncatchable, even though there was a little bit of contact downfield.
Ball is at the 36. Scoreboard shows 44.
So it's going to be single receiver on both sides. 6 minutes, 18 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's Lorenz taking the snap and handing it off to Conwell. Then he is met by a whole gang of Madison Mavs.
And the worst enemy now.
The clock.
Yep, 6 minutes to play in the game. We'll be out of here by 9:30.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I think that's just too hard for you to think, Gary.
Anything's too hard for me to do tonight.
Really? Here's Lorenz taking the snap, dropping back to pass. Now he's being pressured and rushed, and he's going to get no gain on the play, brought down at the line of scrimmage.
So it'll be 4th down and punt. Still 5.5 yards needed.
They may be going for it here.
Yeah, they might be.
Out, they're bringing decided to go ahead and punt.
Well, don't forget, the Mavs had the ball for about 8 minutes of their first quarter and never gave it up.
They did. So it'll be Luke Hoggett to punt it away.
Yeah, I think you were a little closer to half or midfield. You may have gone for it on 4th down.
And here's the boot. And it's going to go to the 33-yard line and roll out of bounds. So now the Madison Mavs will possibly have a turn at getting another score before the end of the game. It's been an interesting game tonight.
I think Reagan gave up on the running game a little too early here in the second half, and now if they get the ball back, they've got to be able to pass. Attendance tonight showing on the Jumbotron as 29-18.
And that's the paid.
And here's the snap by Mike Garza, giving it off to Gill, and Gill's going to be met by those big defensive linemen for the Reagan Rattlers.
Now, this is the nitty-gritty time. The last 4 minutes and 35 seconds.
This is where you're going to have to retain possession and fight till the end.
Yeah, the Reagan coaches have taken the attack to where they're going to let the clock run, not take a timeout after that first down stop.
I don't know.
Double wideout set right, single receiver on the left. Here's Garza taking the snap and handing it off to Gill, and Gill is met and cracks through.
Less than 4 minutes to play, my friends.
Pick up a 2 for Gill.
And big third down here for Madison on both sides of the ball.
6 of 11 for third down conversions.
Hey, on this date in 1955, 21-year-old Elvis Presley performed in, of all big metropolitan areas, Brownwood, Texas.
All right.
Ready to go.
Double wide out set right. Single receiver on the left. Here's Garza taking the snap and handing it off to Gill once again. And Gill's going to have nowhere to go as he's met by the Rattler defense.
Now they took a timeout on the Reagan side. Saves them about 40 seconds of play clock. But they'll get the ball back with 2 timeouts right at 3 minutes to go. Maybe some good field position depending on this punt.
All they did is a touchdown and extra point, and they win the game.
Timeout, Reagan.
Very true, because Madison didn't get the 2-point conversion. No, they made the first extra
Reagan,
point.
it's a gamble now. You've done half of it. You got your defense to do a 3 and out and give it back to your offense, but your offense just has not shown any click in the second half here. You're hoping they can finally turn the switch on and come back and steal this game, take it away from a previously undefeated Madison Maverick team in district play.
Green's got 18 carries, but he's only got 53 yards on him.
So here we go. Maybe the last 3 minutes of a ball game here tonight.
Fifth punt for the Madison Mavs tonight. 12th one total for the whole game. And here's the boot. And it's going to be a good boot going to Luke Hoggett. And it is... Wow. That was a risky catch because he almost let that go. He caught that with one hand pretty much.
That sets up the Madison defense against the Reagan offense to see who's going to win this football game. 3 minutes and 6 seconds left. Reagan gets the ball with 2 timeouts, 70 yards away from pay dirt.
Now the Reagan Rattlers. This is their chance. 3 minutes, 6 seconds left. Lorenz 6 for 15 passing. Single receiver both sides. Here's Lorenz dropping back to pass, looking to his left. He's got Link Milam, and Link Milam's got some stride, and he just
the ball.
Tripped over his own feet.
He knows he just missed a 6-point pass reception. And the kid's got such great hands.
He does have great hands.
But there were no fingerprints on that ball. Well, he is more despondent than anything. Bless his heart, because he's played his heart out.
So be double wide out set left. Here's Lorenz dropping back to pass, being rushed and sacked.
And guess who?
Who?
We've called his name so many times tonight. But we didn't. That was Andrew Hamilton. Is that the coach's kid? Yeah.
Who? Where?
Andrew Hamilton made the stop. No, I'm sorry. His counterpart wearing number 48.
Yeah, I think you're in 4-down territory.
Logan
here.
Bomer made that stop.
Trip set left. Here's
just
Lorenz.
get half of it back
here. As there's a block. Great block. Lorenz trying to get some time. Spins, looking for a man, and he throws it just way over the head.
That's desperation pass intended for the speedster.
Now they're going to punt it away.
Devon Cooper. Well, they don't have 211, and they're just too deep in their own territory.
If they would have got anything on that, maybe
I would have gone for a short, maybe down and in. Do you know what we haven't seen tonight one time? And it's disappearing in a game of football, the down and in. You don't see it anymore. Remember when Jason Witten used to catch it on almost every series?
So that's tough because you have to take a timeout. You've got 2 left. you're going to try and stop the clock when you punt the ball away, unless you're making a change of decision now to go for it on fourth down, because you just wasted a timeout between third and fourth down.
Well, you know, if you like defense, we have a heck of a game.
Very true. If you like offense, not so much.
But last night we had an exciting ball game.
Yes, we did.
Long runs, lead changes.
Both sides of the ball, too, not just one side.
One of the big games in college football is happening in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, as the number 7 Florida Gators currently up on LSU.
Whoa.
28-21 with 8 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
That is a heck of a ball game, friends.
That's a surprise, too.
Yeah, that's a surprise because Florida really had an emotional win last week against Auburn. I didn't know if they had it in their tank still, but they're up against a tough Baton Rouge or LSU team. And that's why they took the timeout. They decided to change their mind.
This is the gamble.
And here's Lorenz rolling to his left, throwing the ball deep, and it's going to be double coverage.
Oh. I would have gone for the first down. Well, he was going for the first down.
Popped it up in the air.
You had to go all the way to the 40 for a first down.
Yeah, that was Zane Raba, and he had his hands on it as it got popped up in the air, but couldn't come down with it.
He just couldn't stretch out.
I'm really curious, guys, as to where is Ankrum.
He must be hurt. And Charles is not on the wavelength with us. I don't know if you can hear us. I'd like to find out if he is. He was standing along the sideline earlier.
And here's Gill taking it and being stopped by Rattlers. And they looked like it was a fumble, but it wasn't.
That's the last timeout taken.
1:52 to go. Looks like the Madison Mavericks may ease past the Rattlers in this one.
Just barely, though. Just barely. But it works.
Happy birthday today to Adam Rich, Luciano Pavarotti, and Kirk Cameron, the great Christian movie producer.
They definitely can, because Reagan Rattlers don't have any more timeouts. Is it really? It's not even 9:20, it's 9:17.
Hey, back in 2006, the Dow Jones went over 11,000 for the first time. And right now, the stock getting too high for the Reagan chances to win this one.
Definitely not, Gary DeLon.
Yes. Well, no, I think it was a toss-up. It was a toss-up coming into it. 1:52 to go.
Double wideout set right, single receiver on the left. Here's the handoff.
That's
and he's
Cleaver.
Going to make a spin move and then get wrecked.
So they don't have to snap the ball on third down until right at 1:02 left in the game. They can't really kneel, but they won't leave any time on the clock with 2 running plays here.
And the clock is down to 1:25 and ticking. And it looks like the Madison Mavericks will have a happy bus ride home over to O'Connor Road.
And he's going to take the snap, and that's a Gill.
He stopped at the 15. He just fell down as he slipped and skidded. So, what would Arnold Schwarzenegger say at this point? It's over.
It's over.
Well, it's like a 90. They're going to run the clock all the way down, take a timeout.
And then run the play. Well,
yep, timeout by the Madison Mavs.
It's like hoping for rain in Yuma right now, though, for the Ronald Reagan fandom. 26 seconds left before you put another W in the column for the Madison Mavericks. Last year, lost to Lake Travis when we did the game up there.
No fans on the Madison side for this.
And very few on the Reagan side.
With this win. Yeah, that's very true.
So it will be a victory walk to the buses tonight.
Yeah, the only thing Madison cannot do is put the ball on the ground during the play, because they can just kneel down and it'd be a Hail Mary situation for Madison, even if they don't get the first down.
And Wildcat. And Gill did not get it. No, he did not.
Did not get it.
The Madison players think they did, but he didn't, as far as I can see.
They're going to measure it, but I don't think they got it.
No, I think he's about football length short. And 20 seconds, time for what, 2 long passes?
Yeah, even if Reagan did hold them there, they only have 20 seconds to try and go the length of the field, because they need a touchdown and an extra point.
And Scott Ankrum is not out there. And Travis Staley still trying to recover from those injuries suffered earlier in the season. No, he didn't get it. It's a moral victory, but 20 seconds, it'd take a miracle for that to happen.
So the Reagan Rattlers will have a chance to maybe experience a Hail Mary miracle game.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Maybe.
And here we go. At the...
I think at some point we're going to see maybe one play, maybe two, and then we're going to see a bunch of laterals.
13-yard line.
Here's Lorenz dropping back to pass, looking for a man, and he's going to get sacked.
And, boy, that's cementing that play.
They've got to get back and get that ball snapped.
Yeah, he can't do it. He put the frosting on the cake. Noah Dudley.
Stop the clock with 4 seconds on that spike. So 3rd and 15, 4 seconds
left. 3rd and halfway to Floresville.
Here's going to be a lot of, if you complete the pass, there's going to be a lot of little laterals and try to keep this ball going.
Here's Lorenz dropping back to pass in his own end zone. He's being pressured and sacked.
And the guy that made the sack and put it in the pack. Good night, everybody. And that was Max St. Pierre.
And what little chance the Reagan Rattlers have was given up by the offensive line, allowing 2 sacks on their sophomore quarterback.
There was about as much chance as that happening as there was having Hillary Clinton invited to the White House again.
Really?
So what turned out to be a defensive standoff. The opener was a hurry-up offense thing with 50 minutes for the entire first half.
Yeah, 2 of the 3 touchdowns scored tonight in the first half, and only 6 points scored in the second half on the first opening series. After that, it was a defensive struggle and a punting contest. But Madison comes out on top, remains perfect in district, up top of 27-6A, along with Johnson at 3-0.
Well, Walter is busy tabulating all the statistics, and the Madison Mavericks are bouncing around in a victory celebration. We'll be back to wrap it up for you from Hero Stadium after this timeout. You're listening to Frost High School football.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, We believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
In 1984, high school students were dancing to the song Hey Mickey. That same year, Sherry Armstrong opened Mecca Sportswear to provide those students with quality leather jackets along with all district and all state patches. Well, now, 3 decades later, Sherry and her family are still providing custom leather jackets and award patches to South Texas' greatest student achievers. Call toll-free 844-HEY-MECCA. Hey Mecca! 844-HEY-MECA.
In 2017, more than 4,700 people were killed in crashes involving large trucks in the U.S. Semi-trucks, which weigh 20 to 30 times as much as passenger cars, can cause severe injuries in the event of a wreck. If you were injured in an 18-wheeler accident, call Thomas J. Henry. Thomas J. Henry handles serious trucking cases and gets serious results for injured clients. Start your free claim today at tjhlaw.com/radio. That's tjhlaw.com/radio.
San Antonio, Texas.
Every San Antonio family has a dream to live in their own castle. There's one San Antonio real estate expert who can fulfill that dream, and he has provided many wonderful kingdoms for hundreds of home buyers in South Texas. Chris Collins of RE/MAX Preferred has been the realtor selected by families that want to make that dream a reality. He'll provide the expertise and confidence to purchase the home that's your address for future happiness. Call Chris at RE/MAX Preferred 210-213-2432.
Coming home means a lot of things to a lot of people. It's a place where you can kick off your shoes or even kick it up a notch. As the #1 mortgage lender in Texas for credit unions, you can trust RBFCU when buying your new home. We'll be there for you every step of the way. So whether it's buying your first home or financing your forever home, you can count on us to make your dream come true. To apply online and for complete details, visit rbfcu.org. Some restrictions may apply. Loan subject to credit approval. RBFCU is an equal housing lender.
Back at Hero Stadium, as we have just witnessed the Madison Mavericks take out the Reagan Rattlers 13-7 in a District 27 6A contest on a Saturday night. Very fast game, unbelievably caught time. It's only 9:30 and we're already wrapping up the show, but some quick full-time stats from Walter.
All right, thanks, Mark. First downs for Reagan, 13, Madison, 11. Reagan had 112 yards rushing, 169 yards passing for a total of 181. 4 of 13 on third downs. No penalties for Reagan tonight. 2 penalties for Madison for 15 yards. 167 yards rushing for Madison, 118 passing for a total of 285, 6 of 13 on third down conversions, and we had 12 punts total tonight, and it was just a defensive struggle tonight after those first 2 opening drives of the game.
Yeah, it just shows you how big a one play that second half touchdown by Garza was, a 49-yard run, at only score of the second half, but that proved to be the difference tonight, as again the Madison Mavericks remain undefeated in district, and the Reagan Rattlers fall to 1-2. Still trying to fight for some playoff hopes there, but it didn't seem to be clicking for either offense in the second half.
I think Reagan needs their starting quarterback back. If he's out any extended time with that shoulder injury, Reagan could be in trouble the rest of the district.
So another game next week will be here at Hero Stadium again for the Churchill Chargers versus the MacArthur Brahmas. Next week, Friday night, the 18th of October, here from Hero Stadium, another 27 6A matchup. So for Walter Stoops, Rob Hicks, Charles Vickers, Chase Holly, and the man, the myth, the legend, Gary DeLon, this is Mark Witherell saying good night, everybody.
Thanks, everybody, for joining the GDP Sports broadcast of tonight's contest, brought to you by our following sponsors. Frost, more than a century of serving Texans, and now in the Frost Tower. Central Builders, the Ehrlich family is dedicated to the construction industry with coast-to-coast projects. The law firm of Thomas J. Henry, open 24 hours with legal experts on call. John Lester's Insure One, providing Texans with home and auto protection. By Randolph Brooks Federal Credit Union, a credit union that puts people before profits. By APIA Connected Investors, Shannon DeLon, providing insurance for real estate investors. BCFS, a beacon of hope for families around the world. RE/MAX by Chris Collins, buying or selling a dream home in the real estate world. GPS of Texas, peace of mind for all drivers with installed tracking devices. Dr. Eric Kuhl, providing that $1 million smile with the future of dental health. By Gridiron Heroes, dedicated to assisting young men suffering from football-related spinal cord injuries. Cherry Hills Baptist Church, where the Lord provides the football field for eternity. By Mecca Sportswear, supplying the leather jacket of pride for your school and sport. Eagle Print, where San Antonians take their printing for quality and satisfaction since 1974. Also brought to you by one name that stands out in the San Antonio rental car business, Budget Car and Truck Rental on Sandow Road just east of 281 North.